It's easy to dehydrate on extended streams. That's why streamers employ the use of Stay Hydrated Bot, which provides a routine schedule for fluid intake to facilitate proper operation of the human body.
I'll make sure to activate Stay Hydrated Bot on my next deployment.
Listen, Snake, there's a way to game so your back won't get hurt. I call it good posture. In order to achieve good posture, you must keep your core activated at all times. First, elevate your chest and then tighten your abs. This will ensure that your spine is never compromised. Second, adjust your chair so that your hips and knees each form a 90-degree angle. This will keep your hip flexors loose and malleable. Try it.
I think I feel the difference.
And Snake, don't forget, you can achieve good posture in any chair. You do not need a gamer chair in order to fully activate good posture.
Yeah, that's good information. I'll make sure to relay it to other buds in the field.
Yes, the BDZ is the perfect theater for practical use of these skills.
Get ready. Checkpoint. Congratulations.
Welcome, Sekiro. Segiwa no Okami. Hey, buds. What up?
How's it going, everyone? Hey, son.
Hey, bud. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. You know what? It's been a pretty good couple of weeks, not gonna lie.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We it's a Sunday for us again. We've spent the day kind of going over some goodies. It's pretty late. Holy cow! I didn't realize how long we've been kind of doing this one tonight. Wow. Wow. I don't think I realized we were. Wow. This was a packed couple weeks, y'all. So we're gonna try to get everything in here. This recording is probably gonna go pretty late. So
yeah. We actually had a lot of topics that kind of snuck up on us. We're like, oh crap, no, we need to talk about that. No, we need to talk about that. So it's going to be a full one, which should be good. So.
I thought it was going to be a shorter episode, but then I thought, no, there was the Sony, the Nintendo, I'm sorry, the Sony Direct or the Sony State of Play and the
Pokemon Direct.
The Pokemon Direct, yeah. And then there was also, what was it? The
New Game Plus?
New Game Plus, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny how I feel like some weeks we're just like, oh, yeah, okay, we can put this into the outline and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, like lately, it's just been like, wait, we have like 12 items. How are we going to do this? But I think we're going to be solid.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll just kind of, I guess we're just kind of jump in and run through the things. I don't know if we have too much of an icebreaker tonight. Hope you dig the MGS intros. We're really digging them. We were considering jumping into Liquid straight away, but having too much fun with Master Miller, and the setup is too good to kind of retire yet. So maybe we'll do a little bit more Master Miller stuff.
I need to practice my Liquid voice just a tad more, but no biggie.
Yeah, you're pretty close. Like we've talked about it. Just listen to Leo from the old Ninja Turtles. Right.
I gotta jump my jaw out.
Brother! Oh, so fun.
Snake! Anyway.
So
I love doing this stuff too much.
Yeah, it's too fun. Well, we will get there eventually. So I think the first thing we're just going to jump right into is the video card saga,
state of affairs
that we've been kind of dealing with the last couple months, since Ampere launched. Excuse me. So last week we talked about, or 2 weeks ago, last episode, we talked about the new 3060 limiter that's being put in place for the TI to prevent the mining Ethereum specifically, which is interesting. Although Ethereum is the highest percentage in use right now. So the theory is, you cut the head off of the top serpent, and then you kind of hopefully it'll reduce it. Maybe we'll see. It still can't prevent it. They could introduce more things on a software level, since this is, just think of it this way, they've already introduced it. This is like their doorway to just introduce more strict things. Just expect it. Anyway, the rumored 3080 Ti that was supposed to come out and be unveiled at CES in January is that got delayed 3 months or something like that. Was it 3 to 4 months, whatever it was. It's now being rumored to come out in April, end of April, and it's also going to employ the same Ethereum hashing limiter as the 3060 Ti. So in theory, I'm still trying every day to buy anything from, well, here's the thing. I don't know if you saw, Cassette, Capcom came out and said, in order to play ray tracing Resident Evil 8, you're going to need a RX 6800 minimum.
Well, that's cool that they're supporting the AMD cards already out of the gate. That's good. Well, that makes sense. PS5 and Xbox.
Yeah, but still, so that tells you straight away it's going to be 30 frames on PS5. Yeah. But boy, if it's not in VR on PS5, I'm going to try to get on PC. But so right now, my point is, I'm trying to get anything from a 3060 to a 3070 to a 3080. I'd even consider doing a 3090. Because the resale is so insane on everything, and then just buying and trying to get a 3080 Ti. I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that, so I think I'm gonna just play hell, and then then Cassette gets the other one or something. We don't have to like dig it out, or we have to like work something out. But holy shit, man, it's
unless I just decided to just go straight for getting a PS5, because that might be the easiest thing to get at this point, and at least that would give me something to play. So I don't know.
Unfortunately, I didn't pick up Devil May Cry Special Edition on disc because it wasn't released on disc at launch.
That's right.
It was only digital. Otherwise, I would love for you to play that, dude. Do you have it on PC regular?
No, I don't. It's on my wish list, but I never got a chance to actually pick it up.
There's something I've been wanting to bring up about this, and we can actually touch on it now. Well, now that I'm remembering, and it kind of goes into effect with the same thing with the that we'll touch on with Final Fantasy VII later. Mm-hmm. So we'll expand upon it then. So let me just take a note, new SKUs.
While you're taking that note, the one thing that I was thinking about when you were talking about cutting the head off the snake, the last thing that I had read was that even the creator of Ethereum,
wasn't it? I apologize.
Yeah, you're good. Even the creator of Ethereum, I think apparently, I don't know how recent the comment is, but they have said that Ethereum is supremely inefficient and is a huge waste of resources.
Yes.
So hopefully, I'm guessing that whatever this hash limiter is probably someone's going to find a workaround. But hopefully, it takes long enough that either momentum is slowed enough. I don't know. If there's any way to get people to dump Ethereum, this might be enough to get people to stop purchasing cards for crypto and be able to actually resell them at a much lower value than they even bought them for, or maybe even just MSRP. That would be fine with me. But the $2,500 3080s needs to stop.
A few things on that. There's currently still tariffs in place from China, from the Trump administration to the United States, that has a 25% increase on these goods. So hopefully, wake up, Joe Biden. Joe Biden, wake up. Please remove the... Joe Biden, wake up. Please remove the tariffs, because that's 25%, man. That's gnarly. That's why. So you're already seeing these rates. I don't know. I'm trying to get one. I'm subscribed to a few bots. If I recommend it if you want to try. So every time I see one pop up, I try to buy it. Now, I don't really care what it is. Unfortunately, man, I really would like to get an AMD video card. I really do. Just because they're going to be coming out with their version of oh my gosh, what's the AI upscaling called? I'm blanking for NVIDIA.
Is it not just part of RDNA specifically?
No, for NVIDIA, what's it called? The AI
Oh,
upscaling.
NVIDIA. DLSS.
DLS says thank you. Holy
Yeah.
cow. So I forget whatever the AMD's version of it is as well. But they said that they're not going to release it yet for the PC until they get it also on the console first. As well. So they want to roll it out all at the same time. So I'm kind of eager to see what that's going to be, since it's going to be that same tech that they're applying to the consoles, since it's that same chip. I think that's pretty cool, man. They also have the same. I don't think hardware-based ray tracing is going to be as well or as widely used. Like, for the Epic engine, it's going to use the total rasterization of the video card, not the specialized raster or cores. Sorry, I'm checking my bot right now. I just got one. It's a Ryzen stock alert. Just a 5800X in stock now. I knew I'd get it. I felt it vibrate in my pocket. We ain't taking any chances, even in a Budsday recording. We try it all the time. Anyway,
If you get a random cut, it's because we're trying to buy something.
oh yeah, if we actually go offline, that's why. Because yeah, for sure. But we'll see. I try it every time. That's my point. We just jumping in. Anyway, jumping back to this, hopefully, we can get one. Now, this will stop maybe miners. NVIDIA was selling chips directly to miners, so who knows? But we're still going to have to compete with bots. So bots are going to be scalpers. They're just going to, I don't know, man. Until you can maybe go into a store and order one, type thing, where it's
Yeah.
COVID's over in 2022 sometime, 2023, then maybe we can get a card. Otherwise, you're just kind of you're grabbing at whatever you can buy. Oh, my point was, I want to buy an AMD video card, but I really
Apparently that's Fidelity FX Super Resolution or Virtual Super Resolution. I'm not sure which.
Okay. Regardless, yes, you're right. Yes, that is what it's called. Yeah, they're Super Resolution, Fidelity FX or whatever it's called. Yeah, correct. So the thing is, though, I don't know if it's from what I've read, it's an issue with OBS and X264 encoding. I do not like the performance I get when I'm not capturing. If I'm capturing, it's fine. But if I'm playing something in real time, there is a ever so slight micro stutter and a not silky smooth performance. And I've since switched to NVENC encoding. Even on my 1080, the hit to performance is only a few percentage points. It's not a huge difference. It was 4 to 6% when I was playing Neo 2, and Neo 2 this was maxed out. 1440p. I can keep my preview up now, and I can have it
Nice.
the recording and the recording and the stream was awesome. That was the thing. The stream wasn't even so bad with X264. It was my recording. If you remember, you saw that blue fire, that when we had those blue fire issues, and when we had those some of those even though my capture was kind of lousy too. I don't really know what was happening, man, because OBS was having issues or whatever. Regardless, ever since I'm thinking of the Ring Fit stuff that we recorded, that guy got a little messed up too. Regardless, ever since I've switched to the new NVENC, since they've redone it, it has been awesome. So I gotta go with NVIDIA, man. It's just too good. So I don't want a 3060, but I'm gonna try to get whatever I can, and then I'm gonna try to get whatever I can in the future. It's kind of just grab it, try to buy it, whatever, and go for it. So hopefully we'll see. I'm of two minds of this. This is getting really political. I saw some people saying online this was just lip service for gamers, that NVIDIA was just doing this because, and to an extent I do see that, but this is what everybody wanted in the first place, right? We're please release something to do this, and they're doing it, but I do understand that it's a very limited thing, and at the end of the day, it may just not do anything. But even if it gives us a little buffer from not miners, we're still gonna have to compete with scalpers. But man, if we can get 3080 Ti's and they just focus on those, let's just make those. Let's just make a bunch of those, please. Speaking of the 3080, this is the latest rumor, the 3080 Ti.
Right. Yeah.
So it used to be 20 gig GDDR6X, and now the current rumor is 12, which is more reasonable. That means the price will be better. It will have way less power consumption, and I think 12 gigs is fine for 4K. 20 would be sick though for rendering. If you had 20,
Yeah.
but at that point just buy the 3090, right? The 3090 is dope if you want to. I gotta say, can we just back up one sec? If we're really talking about people having issues about NVIDIA artificially limiting the power of their cards, right? They have literally been doing that for the last 10 years or whatever with the Quadro line. That was the whole point of Quadro. You wanted to be a professional. You wanted to have access to this more RAM, and you wanted to have access to these higher calculations. It's like you had to buy the Quadro, and I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying that sucks, but that's the way it is. And then they had their consumer level GeForce. We're just at the point now where consumer level cards are getting to the point where you can do rendering in your home. That's really awesome what we can actually do these days. Yeah. It's just we're now into a new type of limiting, right? I don't know, man. If it gives us a little bit of goodies, give me an opportunity to buy one. That's all I care about. Anyway, 19 gigabit per second VRAM is pretty sick, and the Ethereum mining nerf. So this is the current nerf. We'll see. This is supposed to be end of April, so any of those that I'm actually getting the chance to even have a hot second chance to buy one of these that I see coming up on the alerts, they're always just like April shipping anyway.
Yeah, I saw that on the 3060 that I peeped. I thought it was interesting in that screenshot that you showed me here that apparently the 20 gigabyte versions would have used a slightly narrower
bus
bandwidth, or bus. Thank you,
yes.
Or a memory bus.
Yes,
which would be an understandable trade-off. It's kind of like if you wanted to utilize all 4 of your RAM slots and saturate your dual channel memory, you're going to be slowing down your RAM access very slightly. But it's a lot of things with computers is a trade-off of speed versus capacity, right? So
it's probably also a physical limitation too.
Yeah.
They can only push it. They can only push so much through their current tech, right? There's only so much bandwidth they can push through their current tech. So if they're going to have a bigger bus, it can only be so fast. If they can go faster, but a narrower bus, right? So it's kind of what they're limited with. So it's whatever gets us to make it easier to produce. Please make it the most easy to produce, and just make those flagship cards, man. This is a GA102 die. This is still the Samsung. So if it's still GA102, that tells us it's still Samsung 8 nanometer. It's not the TSMC 7 nanometer that's packed, right? Remember, TSMC 7 nanometer is all the consoles. It's Apple. It's AMD. So you have like all of AMD's stuff, all of it, their video cards and their CPUs, all of it is the TSMC's 7 nanometer, which also means the consoles, right? So you have all of that, and then Apple's fucking huge.
There's too many companies with too many products that are vying for all the same gate size, which is being done by like one person. So one of the reasons why this is such a chaotic time for us is not just because of scalpers and miners, but also because just there's such little availability for what is already out there, and it's all being taken up by the wrong people. Anyway,
there's also a water shortage in Taiwan right now.
Oh,
I don't know if you've heard this. This will impact semiconductor manufacturing even more. Just on a FYI. If you want to buy a video card, you gotta sign up for a bot. Yeah. And you gotta be fast. I don't know what to tell you.
Have the money ready at all times if you can, and
you cannot be picky. You have to just do it. I'm probably going to end at this point. How stupid is this? Well, it almost would be worth it just to, if I even got a Radeon video card, to just have a second PC to capture. Honestly, holy cow, man. I don't know. That's nuts. That may have to be it. I may have to just try whatever. I think I would have no problem reselling it, right?
No, not at all. That'd be instantaneous.
Right. So
yeah. Okay, there's a silver lining there. All right.
It may be. I mean, that's kind of hilarious to just play with that, but still, I mean, I think I'm at the point now where because here's the thing. There's some stuff coming out that I really want to play, man. I don't want it to be May. And us sitting here with my 1080 playing Resident Evil 8, dude. I don't. I want to max that sucker out. If I got whatever VR, however we got to play that in VR, we're playing that in VR. It is like, it has to happen. I hope it's at launch.
Yeah.
I hope it's at launch, man, because I don't want to know what happens. VR is kind of ruined after you play it the first time. Playing Resident Evil 7 in VR for the very first time I played through was the most fun I've had. I don't even, maybe ever in Resident Evil. Maybe the very first time playing it with those dogs and the zombie, you know, that's the fucking shit. Oh my gosh, that's the darn dippity doodah business right there.
I'm crying in 1066 gig right now.
Yeah.
Could be worse. But it's still
Not much.
Not much worse. I know.
You
but...
do have the biggest, broadest hardware
I do.
profile. Everybody on Steam
I was
has
really
a 1060.
surprised.
No, it's the most
I was really
affordable.
surprised
That
when I
makes
learned
sense. And the 3060
Okay,
is geared to be there as well. If you could get a 3060, if you could actually buy one, the prices, if like the new one, what is it? The 3060 Ti is at $329, and then the 3060 OC, the non Ethereum limiter is $399, correct? If I recall.
I would not remember it, but I'm probably going to be paying a lot.
I might be getting it mixed up, but it's something like that. Regardless, if you could get one for $329, like retail pricing, that would be awesome. That's dope.
But that's also why I said I'm probably going to focus on trying to find a PS5 at this point, because my NVENC encoding really isn't that bad, even on a 1060. And you know,
right.
I don't need to generate graphics if I'm doing a PS5, so that I could just focus on encoding.
The only problem, bro.
That's not a problem for me.
No, I just mean using this and a shooter or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love the mouse, man.
Oh, yeah. Like if we were going to do, well, we're going to
I've been using a mouse.
Another game in a bit here, but.
Bro, I've been using a mouse since my high school electronics class, my senior year. Electronics. I learned to play Duke. We've talked about this before. Duke Nukem 3D. That was the first person shooter to use a mouse, bro. Like that, and it was inverted only. That was back when you would only play Doom, right? Doom was just like arrow keys, and then Duke Nukem came out
auto vertical aim, right?
With the mouse, but that unlocked this new tech called circle strafing. You know, it's common strats these days, right? Always be on the move. But dude, you learn circle strafing, you just won every LAN party. So we would just play Duke Nukem and we would play GTA 1 and that was it, man. That was awesome. I played so much. So I've been using a mouse for so long, bro. That's like 20 years, man.
It's amazing, like thinking back about how like now we're so used to circle strafing. We're so some of us on controller are so used to doing left stick forward and strafe and then right stick look. Like going back when we didn't have that and like replaying Fatal Frame, and whenever you're looking through the camera, it swaps so that your movement's on the right stick and your look is on the left stick. What were they thinking?
Yes.
Anyway,
those original PlayStation games, until Halo really normalized it, controller aiming was just dreadful. And then truly, even just on camera controls, the every Japanese game, they always inverted their horizontal camera turns if you play like DMC1. So I was programmed for ages. I actually had to deprogram myself to not do that. I'm at the point now where if it's enabled, we're going to talk about Octopath Traveler strategy and Triangle strategy.
Octopath Traveler strategy. That's basically what it is.
We're going to be talking about that later, and it's by default inverted, and I was like, I got to turn this off, so it was on the horizontal. But yeah, I'm still 100% inverted on my vertical though. Okay, so this next bit, Cassette, you want to talk about this? We saw this on Twitter, and go ahead.
Yeah. So what was the username again?
The
Strix.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she, her, right?
Yep.
Okay, so she had retweeted. Hidden Path had posted some job advertisements on their Twitter a while back, and she just retweeted it saying that the reason that they had done that is apparently Hidden Path are doing a proper Dungeons and Dragons uh, open world third person action RPG game.
Sick.
And as someone who has just had their first D&D game and is becoming way too obsessed with D&D mechanics and the possibilities of role playing, this is exactly what I'm looking for right now, and I'm so excited. I don't think we have a whole lot of details on it yet. It's just this is what's going to be happening. So you got me on Div 2 and you were telling me to try out Baldur's Gate, and I know that they like tangentially have some relation to the world of D&D just outside of like the mechanics of D&D, but
Oh no,
having something
it's set in that world. Yeah, it takes place in the Forgotten Realms.
okay, yeah. So yeah, just like with Baldur's Gate, now we're going to have a in-name proper D&D game. So as someone who's a brand new player to that whole system and that world, this is going to be something that's very exciting for me. So I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing what sort of like I mean, they got to have like custom games so that you can DM your own stuff. Oh man, just realizing that this opens up a whole new avenue for people to like visualize their role playing too. So this could be really cool. Again, we don't have a whole lot of details on it, so we'll see what sort of customizability you would have, but I'm excited. I'm
So
stoked to.
one thing I'm really curious about is
Yeah.
traditionally D&D based games.
Mhm.
You know, when you have like the old like Infinity Engine games, which I highly recommend you play, man. I would love if you streamed them. Planescape Torment, maybe one of my favorite video games of all
Oh,
time.
Planescape is in that system too.
Yeah, so a lot of it
Okay.
was like the back in those interplay days. And
Mm,
when Fallout was like big, you know, they kind of spurned that big movement. But so that top down strategy genre was so popular back. Isometric was so popular back then, and I just fell in love with it. Baldur's Gate 1 is really good. Baldur's Gate 2 is even better. That's when BioWare really introduced kind of like their path system. Like they give you choices, kind of like you want to go here, you can go this way or this way, which they kind of, you know, kept that through all their games, KOTOR and Mass Effect, that kind of system, where you
yeah.
the pseudo choice. So I've seen mods, and I haven't played it myself, but I've seen it, and I would highly recommend you just start here. But you can do Baldur's Gate 1, 2, and the Sword Coast all in one like big game, because it carries all your teammates over and everything, and the stories
Nice.
the story works. The first one is it's pretty cool, man. I think the story still holds up. Probably, I don't remember a lot. I remember like the big story points and like the
Mhm.
reason for stuff, you know. But it would be fun to watch you do that one. But I was gonna say,
Yeah.
the games are in real time, right? So it's a lot of pausing. Like you hit spacebar to pause, and then you give your kind of, actually,
Interesting.
it's just like, it's very similar. Wow, it's very similar to Final Fantasy 12,
Oh,
where
okay.
where the game is kind of taking place in real time, and you can actually, I have it set to default where if you press the X button, it pauses the game, and you can then choose. But it's actually, you can even set it to real time where you have to just choose in real time, which that would be kind of scary. I haven't got there yet. Once I maybe have all my gambits set. But anyway, basically the games just kind of go, and you just kind of get into a situation, and then
Yeah.
you have to just like, you hit spacebar pause, give your people directions, hit spacebar pause, give your people directions, hit spacebar pause. So I don't know if you're kind of into that, but Planescape Torment is like that, but it gives you a ton of choice, and that one is more Divinity like, where you have a tons of options. You can talk your way out of things if you have high
Mhm.
charisma, dude. Actually, I kind of think Planescape Torment. Well, I think Planescape Torment is a better game on the whole. It's just a
Okay.
challenging world, right? I can easily recommend Baldur's Gate to anybody because it's high fantasy. It's beautiful. It's Forgotten Realms. You like being in that world, you know?
Mhm.
Planescape is not a kind world. It's not beautiful. It's not lush. The story though is so good. It's so fun. That one I remember more of because I played it more, you know, but it was,
Yeah.
boy, if you played any of them, Icewind Dale is another one that's really good. I think if I recall, that was Interplay as well. But Icewind Dale was super fun. Icewind Dale 2 I liked better. But again, they're all so fun. And you can have, if you like the customization that we were doing, we played with our buddy Lucid Faith. Shout out Lucid Faith. If you played we played with our buddy. We played a D&D session with him, and I was able to be a Nisok Fidget Mindit, and that was my tinker my tinker gnome. And man, it was so fun to play. And you can actually really do that stuff, man. Like it's super fun. So if you like,
I was enjoying the
give it a
exercise
go.
of making new character sheets. So doing like some deep character customization would be really cool to do.
You know, now that you're really getting into D&D, I can fully recommend you play one of them. I fully recommend. I can full-heartedly recommend Planescape Torment if you can get past the. Actually, I think they've made it now. They've patched things because I know for sure they have the Baldur's Gate enhanced editions, right, where they run nicer. So
here's the thing about that. I've been wanting to try to find the original versions of the Baldur's Gate games only because
the 640p is, or the 640 by 480 is rough, dude.
Sure, but I have heard that the enhanced editions do have a lot of bugs and other issues. So yeah, that's the only reason.
Well, look up however you get the mod, whatever version you got to do for that. Because if you can get to all,
that's what I would do.
Yeah.
But
I would still recommend Planescape over Baldur's Gate, over anything. Okay. I think Planescape is the most fun. The characters are the most enjoyable. You can just have so much more freedom. It's way more like Divinity. You know, if you love Div, then you'll love Planescape.
I love Divinity too. Yeah. So remind me to put that on my wish list after recording.
Oh heck yeah! I'm sure it's got to be like a few handfuls of cents. I can't imagine it being too expensive. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Sony State of Play that happened, and leading off, they had we're not going to talk about all the games, but we're going to talk about the ones that interest us. This is Returnal. Now we've seen this before. We're going to get claimed, we know, or we're going to get like demonetized for this because we're going to play these, but whatever, we can't help it. These are awesome trailers, and we got to just talk about them. Returnal. I'm a little bit bummed that it's a roguelike, you know. I'm not a huge fan of roguelikes anymore. Yeah, I think the gameplay itself looks incredible. Look at this, like dodge and shooting. It's like Vanquish. It feels like a modern day Vanquish.
As a third person shooter, I'm pretty excited about something like this.
Yeah, it kind of looks like, I didn't play Risk of Rain 2, but it kind of gives me Risk of Rain 2 kind of vibes in the movement and the shooting. I know our buddy, shout out Buoybot, loved that one. Yeah, you know, I used to really like roguelikes. Rogue Legacy I really loved, but I kind of stopped. And I don't know, man, I didn't play Dead Cells, and I know Dead Cells is very popular. I have yet to play Hades, and I know Hades, they introduced a story to it, and I know people love that game. I may give it a try sometime, but this one I'm going to play because it just looks incredible. And the story seems pretty cool. They have like some weird Silent Hill looking kind of house vibes, you know, when she goes into her memories. And I don't know, man.
Of course, it goes into first person view there.
I thought it was PT the first time they showed this at the last trailer they showed. I forget, what was the last event that happened? Was it the Game Awards? I thought it was a PT intro. Yes. And they're going to show it coming up, but it's got some really good PT vibes. But anyway, what are your thoughts?
Well, it was kind of interesting that you say that you aren't super excited about the roguelike element of this game. But for me, I've never played a roguelike ever, as far as I can remember. So this is something that's going to be entirely new for me, you know, just like dying and then coming back into a world that's had its state changed, you know, different enemy patterns and probably different map elements. So it would be kind of cool to experiment with that for the first time finally. But beyond that, like, I like the slight alien inspirations, and that house in the middle of nowhere.
Look at this house.
Gives me some creepy.
Look at this house.
I wish I had a way to describe this kind of thing where like spatial elements don't line up. Like this house is just in the middle of nowhere in this alien landscape, and it's almost like Contact in a way. And I'm so here for that.
What about The Evil Within 2?
Oh, well, I haven't played Evil Within 2 yet, and I barely remember anything from your playthrough.
Well, cool.
But that would be totally cool. Yeah, I know.
The Evil Within 2 is so fun, man. The first person mode is so worth. Say again.
For a moment with the house, I had
Excuse
I
me.
had a moment of feeling Alan Wake for some reason.
Hmm.
I don't know why.
No, I
Yeah,
feel you.
just a teensy bit. Yeah.
Excuse me. Should we? Okay. Well, we can. Do we want to keep? Do you have anything more to say on Returnal? It looks dope. It's a shooter.
Nope.
It's made
I
by
want to play it.
Housemarque. You know, they did Next Machina. That was the latest one. And
Okay.
after that one didn't do too well, the guy said nobody likes these type of games anymore. He was discouraged from making them, and this is their new game. So we'll see, man. It looks awesome. I love the visuals. I just wish it was maybe more of like a linear, story experience. But
Yeah.
who knows? This could be some fun. I just kind of I find these type of games somewhat challenging for me to invest time in because they don't really have
Mm.
an end usually. Like now Hades does. Hades, it has a story that you can wrap up, but a lot of times roguelikes are just made for you to play over and over again. Like Isaac. You've never played a roguelike. You should try Isaac, man. It is awesome.
Well, I recently popped into my bud Zero Mustafa's stream. Shout out Zero Mustafa, and he was
Yo,
explaining
heck yeah. I didn't know he
the
streams. Awesome.
yeah,
I'll have
yeah,
to follow
and
him.
he's been streaming a lot of Binding of Isaac, and he was explaining a lot of the elements to me, and it looks fun. I
Isaac is
want to give that a
awesome.
go.
Isaac
I
got me through some hard ass times, and no joke.
oh yeah, okay. I didn't realize that it was it used to be an old Flash game too, so that's kind of interesting how a lot of really beloved titles have had some early Newgrounds-ish start to them.
So they with the Rebirth one, they actually
Mhm.
redrew everything with pixel art. Yeah, originally.
Okay.
So the team meet split, and they have they've done their Edmund left and formed and did his own thing, and he was doing Isaac, and then boy, I forget the other half, the programmer side of Team Meat. He did the new Endless Runner game, and apparently it was really bad. The Meat Boy Endless Runner. So he really needed Edmund's vision and creativity for that truly to make it exciting. But
That'll happen sometimes. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Let's the next one was
Cool.
Solar
Returnal.
Ash. Say again.
Oh, I was just saying that's Returnal.
That's Returnal, yeah. So this next one is Solar Ash. I this what was that what was that resolution we're at?
4K.
I think that would murder me. I don't want to take too much out. But okay, so Heart Machine. These guys I like these guys. What was the name of their other game? I'm blanking right now.
Hyperlight Drifter.
Hyperlight Drifter, thank you. Hyperlight
Which
Drifter.
I haven't beaten yet, even though I supported them on Kickstarter.
Man, so Cassette and our buddy Punk feeling lucky. Shout out Punk. When the Hyperlight Drifter came out, I fell in love with it. I played through it. I unlocked everything. Even there was like a extra hard mode where you had like 1 HP essentially, and it kind of sucked
yikes.
because in order for you to get the one complaint that I had with Hyperlight Drifter is that in order to explore, you had to sometimes kill yourself or hurt yourself. You had to like jump off the map and take damage, and when you had the one hit death thing, it was frustrating unless you just knew everything about the map. Yeah, it got a little frustrating, but regardless, the combat was great. The music was insanely good. The visuals are so good.
Yeah.
If you like, kind of the over the 2D games. I'm trying to think of a parallel. I don't want to even say Zelda because it's more actiony than that. Maybe it's more actiony than Secret of Mana. I'm trying to even think.
Yeah, I don't know what a good parallel for that would be.
Yeah, it's very good. The combat is just because the combat is so good on it. There are other things. I mean, there are Zelda things. Hold the button down to run and go like that. Anyway, whatever. This is their new game, and it looks beautiful.
It looks tremendously wonderful, and it's all about movement, and it looks so graceful. I really can't wait to try playing this to get how it feels.
Yeah, so
And
they were.
the whole design element of being in a black hole and like searching for all these elements. I don't know. I'm enamored.
The director, he's talking over this part, and he he said the game takes place, as Cassette said, in a giant black hole called the Ultra Void, and that's what we see right here. Our main character is called Rey, lol Star Wars, but she is our pro tag. Anytime I see skating like this, I think of Jet Set Radio, and I'm kind of in. So it looks fun as heck. I'm in to play it. You're here to fight these Sentinels. I don't really care. I don't need to know much more. I loved Hyper Light Drifter. I love these devs. I love this visual. I love their music. I'm in. Like, you don't got to say much more. You tell me they're making a new game, I'm super in.
They have such a great color palette for their games too.
Yes, love the color palettes. This is Sifu. We don't know too much about it. It looks like it kind of takes place. Your character ages. You can see. Oh, look, he's bowing to the previous person. Probably this is probably a roguelike as well.
I want to pay attention to the portrait now as he's aging.
Okay, so this is
Old Boy Hallway.
This is Old Boy the video game. Yes, if you've seen Old Boy, if you haven't seen Old Boy, go watch Old Boy. Shout out Old Boy. But this is Old Boy the video game, and it kind of looks like a roguelike. Look at these animations, though, man. Whoa.
The snapping is fantastic.
I don't know this is probably none of this is gameplay. Even if it's not gameplay, it kind of looks like a better Absolver. Okay, he's dead. New person comes in. Let's see who he's praying to. We thought they age. No, he ages, right? Because the person gets older. Oh, they didn't show us.
Oh, we didn't. Yeah.
It's definitely more in the future now, though, right? Doesn't it feel like that? Maybe not.
Yeah, there's definitely not enough elements that are being displayed yet to know for certain about all that. But you do see this progressive aging happening.
Yeah, like right now, he's got the gray hair, the longer hair.
Huh.
Oh, so sick. I'm interested. I don't know if I'm sold, but I'm interested. Pretty excited.
Yeah. I'm excited for more details for sure.
The next one we got a little more info on Deathloop. There is another supplement video that they released along with this. They gave more information on it. Essentially, you're an assassin that's trapped in a time loop. You have to kill 8 targets before the day resets. It's not on a timer. You can take as much time as you want in between those or while you're in the game. You get to keep all the weapons and ability between loops, so it's essentially another roguelike type thing. But this one has a story, so this one I'm okay with that type of thing. Kind of like Majora's Mask, right? The people you're trying to kill are called the Visionaries. They say he's they're artists, philanthropists, musicians, and they're all killers or something like that. And then at the same time, you're also being hunted by Juliana, who at first we didn't know if she was going to be like a PvP person or not. It doesn't seem like it. Maybe she's just a hunter. We'll see. That's her. Go ahead.
Yeah, we still don't know any.
That's the overview.
We don't know any details yet about any sort of multiplayer function that they might implement. I can't remember if they've ever, even in the past, they've specifically mentioned multiplayer.
I don't know if that was just rumored because people saw Juliana being hunted or hunting them. Yeah. Regardless,
so
Arcane Studios are awesome. Dishonored, awesome. Heroes of Might and Magic, right? Was that their Melee one?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Was that?
Arcane,
I don't remember. Oh, that was so long ago. I do want to mention that
Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. That was it. It was also it was a first person. It's still good. I still recommend that game. It's a first person
sounds very familiar.
Kind of D&D kind of game, where you have like magics and stuff.
All right.
Very fun.
Let's go. The supplemental video mentions something about amnesia, just like very quickly. So I wonder if there's going to be a game mechanic where, depending on how many times you die, you might lose random abilities that you have learned or something. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, they don't want to give you like 100% of how every function of the game is going to work right now. I mean, that's part of getting into the game and exploring for yourself. But I like that hint there, so it'll be interesting to see how that all evolves. I don't know, just this art style, the music, the colors, everything is just perfect.
Did we mention that it's 4 districts over 4 time periods? Did I skip over that? No, we did not.
Yeah.
I was reading my notes, and my notes say Visionary, 4 districts, 4 time periods, and then Juliana. I think I got distracted when I saw her on screen. Yeah, so you saw that little where we're gonna zoom. Yeah, right. So you'll see it cut through. The reason why not everything looks the same is because there's 4 different time periods that we actually go through as well. So that's why you have these different views, kind of like the more futuristic, and then the deco, and it's pretty cool, man. I really dig it.
Definitely picking that one up.
And Arcane's
Probably
gameplay is
day
always
one.
super fun. Have you played Dishonored? I was trying to stream Dishonored too,
no.
but my computer couldn't do it now. But I bet with NVENC encoding, I could. That was probably my hope. That was probably the problem again. Yep.
There we go.
Okay. So
I
this
know that our
makes...
bud Pelico, shout out Pelico, was streaming that as one of his first games, actually.
Oh, nice. This brings us to Aliens Fireteam. It looks like it's a third person, three player co-op shooter. At first I thought it was like a Left 4 Dead style situation, but it looks like it's not PvP. It's purely just PvE. I don't know. It looks pretty sick. I'm kind of into it. What do you think?
Yeah, if it's like I don't want to compare it to Destiny, obviously, because partly it's third
The
person
word
and,
fire team.
but having like a 3-person fire team horde mode, but with like aliens, and say in that sort of early to mid 80s design aliens, and I don't know, anytime that video games have kind of pulled together that retro futuristic Wayland Yutani vibe, like an Alien Isolation, just like all that, it just feels right at home for me. And I would love a sort of just balls to the wall, shoot at everything with obnoxiously noisy, overpowered weapons. Just I want that vibe with my buddies. I want that.
So
I'm excited.
this is a very pro Alien franchise stream or community in the Budsday
Yes.
community here. I am more of a Alien fan. I like the more slasher movie, stalker, hunted, more quiet kills. I love the first Alien. I saw Alien when I was 4 years old, maybe something like that. It gave me more nightmares than I possibly could ever tell you. It traumatized me and scarred me in ways that I have never experienced a movie. And when I was in my childhood, I used to have nightmares where I would just wake up and like I would vividly remember like the texture of like the xenomorph. Like, oh man, I remember waking up in like cold sweats. I should not have watched this at that age. My parents my dad let me watch some movies when I was a kid, man. But this one in particular, and for whatever reason, we've talked about I know I love horror now. I got over like a lot of that in my adulthood, but
Yeah.
when I was a kid, seeing this at that age, it just freaked me out. So Alien, I really like the kind of stalker stuff. It's super spooky. Now Aliens, the Halo, James Cameron, shoot 'em up, bang bang, cool. Kind of have that Halo aesthetic vibe. That's what this is. It's way more over the top and chaotic. And the only other one that I really liked game wise, did you ever play besides the arcade AVP? Did you play the Alien versus Predator games? Where you could play multiplayer, like hunting as the aliens and the Marines. Dude, the PC.
That sounds pretty cool though.
It was awesome. It was like pitch black, and the Marines had guns and they were really strong, but they couldn't, you couldn't really see in the dark. You have to like use, like get your ping, and with the aliens you could like climb on the walls and go all over the place. Man, that was so fun. Holy cow, that was fun. So it's not going to have any sort of that, but this is already way too like bright for me. I would prefer way darker, way more spooky. So whatever.
We already have that with Isolation, so that's a perfect game for someone who enjoyed. I know it's not the best game. Okay, so I'll take away perfect, but if you're into that sort of more alien vibe versus aliens, I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of Isolation. I love that game. I kind of
did you like the non-alien parts though?
No, the non-alien parts sucked.
That's why I scoffed at it. Yes.
The alien parts, though, make up for it.
I do agree. The alien parts...
That's a good game.
I would love to play that game in VR. I would truly love to play that one in VR.
Oh my god, yes.
But
can someone mod that, please?
If it doesn't it already exist, maybe? I don't know. But the non-alien parts, man, androids are just the worst.
I hated that so much. That part definitely was not fun. The humans weren't as bad. But the Android part sucked, yes.
So, I don't know. I'm excited. We'll see. Who knows if this will be good or not. This brings us to the big hit, that shocked me, first of all, that they're not charging $40 for just the patch alone. But we have Final Fantasy Intergrade. This is the PlayStation 5 version with Yuffie and 60 frames upgrade, texture upgrade,
Lighting upgrade.
lighting upgrade. What we've been waiting for. Now this is not coming to PlayStation 4, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's only going to be PS5, which I only learned about yesterday. Somehow skipped that part of the information, but it is whatever.
I was gonna talk on this on the Devil May Cry thing. So there's a reason for these things, because it's a totally different SKU. They can't just straight up patch it. So it has to be able to run on those old systems if they patch it. The reason why Virgil is in, they can release a Virgil patch for the old version of Devil May Cry, but not the special edition where they have the turbo mode and legendary Dark Knight mode, is because the old console straight up cannot run those. So they can't patch even though the PC version could easily run those, it's the same SKU as the console version. So for example, for this one, if they're going to release this on the Xbox One X or the on the PC, they're going to release the Final Fantasy VII Intergrade option. That's going to be the new SKU that's going to have Yuffie, and it's going to have all of that.
Yeah.
The one thing that's peculiar for me though is they straight up are doing it for the PS Plus version. They are patching that version. Yeah.
Well, so if you already have a license for
So
are they doing it for the PS Plus version?
Yes, but you don't get, you have to buy Yuffie separately, right?
Yes, like I because I have the PS4 disc, I'm pretty sure I get a PS5 license for it, but I still do need to purchase Yuffie. Yes.
Correct. No, not if you have a PS4 disc.
Oh no, I have it digitally. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's only if you have the PlayStation Plus version that you have to buy her. So it is sticky.
Okay, then.
And now that I don't know. When we come to full different releases like this, that's why they do it. I guess when they can just straight up patch it too, like they did with Ghost. So it is possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but who knows, man. I knew that they were going to release a different version. Like, I'm just so glad we don't have to pay for it. I'm just very stoked that we don't got to pay for it and we can just kind of go for it.
You get the quality of life improvements right out of the gate, which is that's not perfect, but that's good enough.
I've been waiting to
right out of the gate too. Go ahead.
I've been waiting to replay this, and I'm so glad they're doing it. I want to play Red Dead 2. I don't want to rebuy that. I want to play Death Stranding. I don't want to rebuy that. Please patch them. They probably won't, but who knows? They're probably going to release a new SKU, and they're going to do the same thing. They're going to have something in there that they say, oh, this can't run on the PlayStation 4, so we got to have a new SKU, and it's just for PlayStation 5 and PC, and then they're going to make you buy it on PC again, like the new version again. It's just ridiculous, because Devil May Cry Special Edition is going to come out on PC this year. You know it is, or next year, whatever.
I will say really quick that I was massively disappointed at the end of this trailer, and I was just reminded now that they show Vice, or someone like Vice, whatever, from Crisis Core. No, Dirge of Cerberus, right?
Dirge of Cerberus, yes.
Yeah, so apparently Genesis and all of them are still part of this new canon, so
we can never get away from Gact.
We cannot get away from Gact. All right, whatever, that's fine.
So
I'll find a way to live.
On that note, let's just jump right.
Really quick though, just one thing to mention. In the new Yuffie expansion, it looks like we might have dual text a little bit. Chrono Trigger. So I'm very excited about those new gameplay elements.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Just on the game alone, it's going to be amazing. I'm sure playing her is going to be amazing. Yeah, I absolutely love it. If they give us loadouts, if they give us materia loadouts,
I almost forgot about that. Yeah, please.
Maybe they'll say there was a memory limitation. That's why we couldn't do it on PlayStation 4. So you're not going to get that version. I know, right? Watch. We'll watch it happen. Something lame like that.
Don't give me an excuse. Just say, hey, we have it now. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's all we asked for.
Okay, so then this happened. This is Ever Crisis. This was so wild. This was the remake that I thought we were going to get for ages, that everybody thought we were going to get, right?
Yeah.
But it looked
This
like
kind of felt very snuck in. It's very interesting.
I could not believe it. First of all, iOS and Android. What the heck? I hope it's going to come out on Switch, because it is straight up the game remade beautifully. This looks wonderful. When you go into the battle system, it's, you know, the standard higher resolution, higher definition models, and, you know, just like classic Final Fantasy, you know, go from the chibi into the battle system models, and it's interesting. It's like turn-based again too. It's just what everybody kind of wanted. It's so funny that they would release this on mobile, and then it's going to expand the entire Final Fantasy series. Dirge of Cerberus, even Advent Children is going to be in here,
and we're getting Before Crisis as well. Yeah, Advent Children as a game.
Yeah,
I wonder.
They said that's yes. They said they showed Advent Children. We're going to get a plays at Advent Children.
So this title is supposed to be chapter based, and I think the implication was that it's going to be chapters released over time, just like with Remake.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that ends up being like. Do we get an abbreviated Final Fantasy VII?
No,
and then an abbreviated.
They said the whole game, man. If I read that correctly, from what I understand, post everything they've said, it's supposed to be the whole thing. The whole thing. It features the entire compilation of Final Fantasy VII and more, Advent Children, Final Fantasy VII Before Crisis, Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus. They straight up show the beginning of Crisis Core. This is literally the beginning of Crisis Core right here.
I love that. I love the fact that they're still doing the chibi style even for the non-OG games. So that's really cool.
For all of my friends that do not know this man, you saw a glimpse of him in the remake.
The best character.
One
of the best characters.
He is. Cloud ain't nothing. Cloud is a husk. Cloud is. Zack is the homie. Zack is everything. Zack is who Cloud wants to be. If you've never experienced Zack, get ready for the sweetest, wonderful. you will fall in love with Zack.
And it's good with Crisis Core because that's still basically, if you lucked out and have a PSP, you can play it or you can emulate it. But now there's going to be another way for people to play it who either don't, won't, or can't emulate. So
Crisis Core is kind of uncomfortable to play, though, if I'm honest.
Wait, what is it? Engaging combat mode?
Engaging combat mode, yeah. Oh my gosh. Or commencing combat mode or whatever they say. Yeah, it's cumbersome.
We'll see if they change that.
Probably. Hopefully.
It looks like the OG Final Fantasy VII is getting a slightly different combat system than just straight up turn-based menu. So we'll see how that translates to the other games too.
In a laughable lull moment, we also saw this First Soldier Battle Royale.
Yep.
Final Fantasy VII, also for mobile.
Also for mobile.
I don't
and only
fully hate it though. That's what I hate. I don't like BR games. If it wasn't a BR game, if it was like maybe just like some sort of other like first person or like single player game like this, I would be, look at this combat, it's kind of fun. It's like some Final Fantasy VII combat there. So I kind of oddly like some of it, you know. I'd be curious to see it if it was like a single player game, but I don't know, man. I have no interest in mobile and I have no interest in BR games. I've never played any COD BR game. I have played exactly one round of Fortnite with my buddy Zeffel. Shout out Zeffel. We booted up once. We went in. We just looked around and then we laughed. We died and then we uninstalled and that was it. It was that was it. We never cared. Yeah. So I don't know. This is just wild. Who knows? This one tripped me out. I don't know.
At least, hopefully, we get a little bit more backstory into Soldier, but okay,
maybe
cool.
Look at Ifrit looking awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Awesome. You still get summons in a BR.
Man, this is cool, man. See, they had like this reminds me of kind of Final Fantasy 15. What was the call that we did the multiplayer?
Yeah, Comrades.
Comrades. Yeah. Oh, is that what you said? Sorry.
It has a little. No, you're good. It does have a little bit of that vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah,
just very slightly, like a PvP Comrades.
Yeah,
with guns.
But make it not PvP, and I'd be interested. And make it like a co-op or a single player thing. Anyway, this one was part of the what was it, New Game Plus or whatever?
Right. Yes.
This was one of the only ones that really like just caught our attention. We just wanted to showcase it. It looks just like Duke Nukem. If you've ever played Duke Nukem, this is 100% what Duke Nukem looks like. It looks like it controls like it, but better. Like it looks like a modern. I think there's even like a dodge that they have. Yeah. You see him crouching
Looks
or
like,
kind of doing some sort of dodge, but the way that the models just look at you and kind of stay on you, love it. Duke Nukem
So many pixels.
is trash subject matter, and it's kind of hard to play these days. So if we can get a game that plays like that, that's fun, man, I'm in. Because Duke Nukem is still super fun to actually play. If you play that original game, it's still super fun.
Just for better or worse, it's Duke Nukem though.
I'm here
What
to
I like
kick
about
ass
games-
and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
What I like about this is this kind of reminds me of Zero Ranger in some way, where like there's a very limited but still very creative use of a narrow color palette. And so I'm wondering if the game will actually allow you to change your color palette, or you can unlock different like visual palettes or whatever. But I don't know. This is cool. I didn't know about this until like just like a couple hours ago, and
Right,
now
me
I
too.
really want to play this.
Yeah, pretty
Did it
dope.
say what it's going to be available on?
Probably PC, probably stuff. I'm not really sure. We'll see when it comes
Yeah.
out. What's it called? Exophobia?
Exophobia.
Okay, we also have a quick shout out to the PlayStation 2. I love you. Happy 21st birthday. We'll buy you a beer now.
Yup.
I still vividly remember I was working at Software Etc. It's like a Babbage's, like a EB Games. We had a demo unit come in from a Japanese import demo unit, and we were able to showcase it in our store. We had a line of people that came in. I had my hands on it. I pulled that sucker out of the box. I put it on our countertop, those glass countertops of those old, like, kind of GameStop looking places. Maybe they still exist.
Yep.
I don't know. I haven't been to one in a minute. And we had Street Fighter EX3 on there. Now, if you didn't know, Street Fighter EX was like a 3D adaptation of Capcom's games made by Arika, a totally different developer, just
okay.
published by Capcom.
Gotcha.
The dude, I forget his name, that formed that company. He worked on Street Fighter 2. Yes, I think if I recall correctly. Boy, it's been a minute since I thought about that. They redid a new game called EX Fighting Layer that I never replayed the remake. Anyway. They were arcade-only games developed for the PlayStation arcade hardware, made to be like a nice port to the home console. And they did have some EX versions of the home console. I remember. If you ever played the PlayStation 1 version of, it's been so long, but one of those EX games, I want to say the first one, it didn't even have backgrounds. I think it was just black void. My memory is foggy on it, but I do remember it was real bad. So this was cool because it was like this one actually didn't come out in the arcade, right? This was only released on the PlayStation 2 as a launch title, right? Yeah, if I'm remembering my history correctly. So anyway, we showcased it, and man, it was so fun pulling it out of the box, playing this. SSX was the other game that we got to play.
Oh, I love that game. I missed that.
SSX is so good, man. That series, shout out SSX. I hope they bring it back sometime. Who knows? But man, just this quick trip down memory lane, working retail, Software Etc. What up? Boy, oh boy, man. That was a long time ago, and that was so fun. 21 years ago.
I think my first experience with PS. Yeah. Buy that damn console a drink.
Holy cow. Buy me a drink.
The Bouncer was my first game that I ever played on that, and I remember being so wowed by that experience.
Yup. Was that Tetsuya Nomura's first game?
That might have been his first might have been his directorial debut.
Yeah.
But it was definitely his first game, because like it went full on Nomura fashion.
Zippers
design,
on everything.
Which was it was a time. It's still a time. I really want to play that game again. It was a fun brawler. I would totally jump.
What was
back
the
into
Squaresoft one? Tobal number 2 or Tobal number 1?
Number 1?
Yeah, they came out with 2. Yeah. Did you ever play Tobal?
No, I didn't.
We should do that on a Budsday. We should try to get that
Do it.
running on like a parsec thing or something. Oh my gosh.
I'm in. I'm in.
All right, cool. So yeah,
Happy
that's
birthday, PS2.
happy birthday PS2, man.
We
That's so
love
sick.
you.
That's my it's still I still have my first one got stolen and my house was robbed and they stole my Thrustmaster, not my Thrust. It was a Logitech force feedback wheel. Man, that was so heartbreaking. I still have some of my I rebought some of the big hitters, but oof. Oof, that hurt. Oh, it still stings to this day. Ooh, walking in, seeing your house trashed and all your stuff gone. Ugh, brutal. Anyway.
That sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna head up with our this week in gameplay. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys.
Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. For this week in gameplay, we teased it last week.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have it this week. It is Project Triangle Strategy. This is a new RPG being published by Squaresoft. It is being developed by Art Dink this time.
Mm-hmm. And who do we know them by?
They originally did Ogre Battle and its sequel called Tactics Ogre. They also made a ton of games, Macross games. Actually, you might be way more familiar with them than I am. If not, you may want to check them out. I could not tell you all of them. I know there's a ton that have happened over the years. So that may be something to check out.
The Engine games, maybe.
I don't recall. We could.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
We could take a hard tangent if you want for looking at some
that's okay.
Art Dink Macross stuff. But
I can report back on that at another time.
Okay,
now I'm curious.
So Octopath Traveler was made by Acquire. So this is a different company, a different development. They're not the same guys. They're using the same engine, so it looks similar to it. Starting off, it has pretty good voice acting and pretty good story. Let me
Iron War.
The Salt Iron War.
Brought to
It's so funny.
Facing their mutual
When I started this up, we're going to get to it in a minute, but I've been playing through Final Fantasy XII again, and it starts off so similar. Even the names, like the what's the Final Fantasy XIV even has a similar name, like Eorzea. Like this one Norzelia. Like they all kind of have that similar kind of sounding name, Aesfrostian. Anyway, it's a three warring nations, water, salt, iron. So they need the other goods. I just got to come out and say straight away, it's a blast. It is
actually a really fun game.
It is every bit as intense and time consuming as you would expect a tactics game to be. You have a 40-minute to an hour map. Think of it like that. You're going to go into it and you're going to take your time with these battles. They're very accessible. It's very similar to tactics. It was a blast to play. We'll get into more of it. They're kind of introducing these characters. Real quick, I just want to. Do you want to give some thoughts on the characters themselves? Do you have any thoughts on them? I did take some notes on them when I was doing my playthrough.
Right now, okay, so after the first battle, I did start using the fast forward feature, partly because this demo starts in media res in chapter 6 of the main story.
Yes.
And so I wasn't able to connect with the characters as easily as I could have, probably starting a complete fresh title at chapter 1. So I don't have a lot of thoughts and feelings on the characters too much, but so far our main character, I'm forgetting his first name, but Wolfport, Sarah Noah, thank you. I'm digging his character. Prince Roland, is it?
Correct.
Yes. I'm fine with him so far. I'm kind of curious about the supporting characters, or your supporting unit characters, I guess. We don't have a whole lot of interactions with them, but so far the shield guy, I'm pretty into him. Basically, my biggest connection to all the characters right now is the art design for each of the characters. The portraits for the characters are so they evoke unique characteristics in them so well. You get a lot more variation in terms of facial features, expressiveness. Even their clothing design is pretty great. Like even the healer looks really rad. Um, yeah, I'm enjoying the design a lot for the characters for sure. I didn't really have as great a connection with the voice acting as you did, I don't think. I kind of want to try playing this game voiceless and text only. But that's just for me. And I think it might only be because we're jumping into the story so late.
I was verifying this, and I'm almost
Mhm.
positive it was yes. Okay, so Naoki Ikushima, the same guy that he's the character designer for Octopath. He is. I think I went. To
Oh.
I think I might have gotten a phone call. I went to the restroom. He is the character designer for Octopath and the character designer
Okay.
for Bravely Default 2. So if you recall, remember
Oh,
we
okay.
thought that was like Ophelia looking character. Ophelia. We thought that Ophelia looking character was that one that they were showcasing Bravely
Forgot
Default
about
2.
that.
I've yet to play that one yet.
Yeah.
But that just came out. Anyway, so same character designer. Beautiful stuff. Love it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's definitely a different expressiveness than from Octopath, the character designs, though.
I get very similar vibes from him.
Yeah. Similar, but yeah, okay.
So Sarah Noah's voice actor I didn't like too much. I wasn't super into Benedict either. I have weird vibes about Benedict. He was supposed to be, he's the war veteran, and he's supposed to be like watching, kind of, I don't know, the situation and kind of knowing what's happening. I don't know.
He's the buff caster, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And then this guy, Sir Maxwell, is awesome. He's like a dragoon.
My God,
I was
love
so
him
stoked to see him,
much.
but I was so dubious that he was a bad guy. And then this is a demo. Can we just talk about what happened in the demo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you're made to believe that he's dead, and he gets in this awesome combat. We'll show it at the end. This cool scene with her, what's her name?
Avlora.
Avlora, yes, Avlora, yes.
Okay.
So she's awesome looking. She's cool. These characters are great. I love these models. The acting is actually here. Let's listen.
Dear Frederica and her newly betrothed.
Gustadov is an awesome bad guy, by the way.
Stand down at once. On the honor of House Walford, we shall not let the royal family come to harm.
I don't love his
So
voice.
you're the young
Maybe it's Sarah Noah's voice that I was focusing on too
You have
much
courage
because
if you
I
have sense.
see the difference a little bit more now.
Brother, what is the meaning of this?
This is pretty cool, man. So this is Sarah Noah. He's the main character. Frederica is his bride, and her homeland this is her brother. They are invading, and so this is on their wedding day too. Correct? Did I read that correctly on one of the side story ones?
I cannot recall now.
I don't know if this was their wedding day or if they're just maybe newlywed. Anyway, her brother invades and they're just taking everybody out. This is
my daughter's day of marriage. Anyway, sorry.
yeah. This is Roland right here. He is the king's son. This is his brother, Franny, and this is his sister. I forget what his sister's name is. Regardless, the acting is fairly good all around. I don't love Benedict's voice actor. I love Gustadov's though.
Frederica. I had to take action sooner than anticipated.
Action? What do you...
Listen well. I, Gustadolf Esfrost, do hereby condemn the King of Glenbrook and his agents for their treacherous deeds, scheming to claim the riches of the Grand Norzelian mines their own.
Anyway, you get it. Sounds great. I love his voice actor. The characters are fun. I'm into the story. It's a little bit, melodramatic war times, but whatever.
Yes.
We can. There are 3 different phases. There's the story phase, the exploration phase, and the battle phase. The exploration phase, you can kind of walk around and loot different parts of the map. You'll see I'm just kind of running around. Looking up here, you can climb. I fully anticipated archers to spawn there, and sure enough, they did. You'll see the sparkly bit. You can climb up here and loot goodies. Did you go down below as well?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So
I
there's
actually accidentally discovered the ladders. I was just like poking around. I was like, why does it say search over here? And then I was like, oh, I'm going down. And then I realized, oh, I can rotate the camera. Okay, my bad. So you actually get a lot of exploration.
the water reflection underneath is
Mhm.
so good. Here, let me skip
Yeah,
ahead.
you can
Just
see in the little corner there, just like the way that the waves kind of ripple, the reflected waves ripple is
right here,
just so
yeah.
great.
So that what you also just saw was the conviction mechanic, and depending on how you react to different NPCs, it's utility, morality, and liberty. They kind of give you an option. She kind of, it seemed like you could actually dismiss her, and she might be gone forever if you said go away. Anyway, look at the water reflection. It's so great. I love this engine. It's awesome.
Mhm.
I'm super looking forward to it. Once we get into battle, it's so funny. I got a lesson in reality super fast. I got to show you.
Oh.
This is too funny. So one thing, oh yeah, I thought this was really funny. I didn't realize you could go to your encampment in the middle of the combat. You can peace out and just go here. Did you do this?
Wait, in the middle of combat?
Well, before combat started.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
we're
yeah, I
just
did do this.
standing right there. Anyway, I love this dude. This is what I want to look like when I'm older. Remember we talked about this? I saw this dude on the street, and I saw this old dude, and he was like, he had white hair, and it was like
Mhm.
wiry and crazy, and it pulled back, and he had like, the old man like long hair, and he looked so dope. But I can't grow a beard, but whatever. He looks awesome. These characters, the one over here looks like the Alex, right, from Second Densetsu 3. The one of the main characters. Whatever.
Oh, see, I don't know 3 as well as you would.
It's fun. It's on Switch, dude. You could actually play that version. What's her face is pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's
The Amazon is really fun to play.
Okay.
So one thing I found interesting while we get into here, the enemies at first do not approach. They're smarter. Like they didn't approach one versus one. I don't know if you
Yeah.
had the same experience. Can you increase playback speed? Nice. Faster.
It's like tiny increments.
There we go, maybe.
Yeah, it's probably solid. Or 2 speed. Yeah.
There we go. So, I was just kind of reading what these characters do. Oh, okay,
Mhm.
one thing I truly do you know how do you build up the pips? Is it just regular auto attacking? I thought it was going to be like Octopath, where you just regular attack and you build up
Yeah, I think it's as
ability.
long as you don't use a TP, the next round you'll have an increased TP.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to
Um,
use the auto attacks or their whatever ability doesn't have a yellow diamond next to it.
and if you use a TP attack, it's like Octopath, where you do not build another one, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I really liked this character Anna. I think she was awesome when she had like the stealth ability.
Yeah. I utilized her a lot.
So at the beginning here, I just like to see how much they move. I was surprised at how far the characters can move as well.
I was actually of the opposite mind. I felt like I was always being shortchanged every turn.
Oh, you got to play Final Fantasy Tactics. It's
Yeah, I
similar
was
to
going to say
this.
I'm asking a lot. I'm asking a lot of them.
It's similar to this though, but I was just surprised. It's mostly the enemies. The enemies don't. I I mean that's pretty. Look, this is the attack. This is her. What was this move? Oh, this was using this TP thing on accident. I didn't know what I was doing.
I never
was like,
used that.
yeah.
Oh my God.
I gave myself 2 TP straight away. So
Oh, okay.
it just lets you kind of get your TP. See, look, so this guy did come in close. I was surprised, but the other ones didn't pursue because I didn't want to push. Right? I'm just like, I know your game. I ain't gonna push. I could probably go even faster. Let me buff playback speed faster.
I found myself really utilizing Roland's lance abilities a lot. He was my main damage dealer, I think, through my my demo.
I play a lot. I play very defensively, so I wanted to keep my characters out of harm's way. So I try to avoid all of that. Some of the movement was very cumbersome. I could tell that the Switch was having difficulty when you try to like move around. It kind of just chugged. Did you get that sensation?
Here and there, yes.
Yeah, it was slightly uncomfortable to play. It just like from just like a usability standpoint, but it wasn't the end of the world. So I want to show. I was also anticipating character spawning behind. That's why if you see, I'm just kind of chilling right here. I'm not trying to do it. Oh, I didn't realize this would launch him. Or no, I mean that was Sarah Maxwell. I did this eventually too. I launched myself super far ahead. I love her character design. Glia, she's awesome. Love this character design. Anyway, I fully anticipated enemies spawning behind because they always do. So I was just kind of like, biding my time and just kind of holding out and seeing what we can do. And I didn't want to push because I was fully expecting these guys to come in and kind of take the day. I just want to show that. Well, I'll just kind of let this play out. But so the enemies you see when they have the red lines. That is what they can target. So when you're choosing where you can walk, if you see the purple is where they can attack you. If it's blue, then you can walk there and not be hurt. So this wall of ice, I did not know what wall of ice was going to do. I thought it was going to spew wall of ice like in all directions, so I was worried about hitting my own team. And you'll see I totally bone it. It's so funny. So right there, if there's a character behind them, you get a free auto attack if you attack them. So Sir Maxwell right there, he attacked automatically because he was behind, and then we got that attack from the what's her name? Hewitt.
I loved Hewitt so much. Those the dark ability and everything like that, and the leg trap are just fantastic abilities in this.
Oh, right here. Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, so you'll see this is Maxwell, by the way, is CPU controlled for the people that were watching. So we will you'll see Maxwell will he got it. Let me just go back a hot sec. Can I skip back this way?
Did he run up for you? He refused to move forward in my game.
Yeah, he was aggressive. So there was a character here. So this guy attacked and this guy attacked. So now these guys spawn here. Let me do playback speed.
Maybe he moves depending on whether or not you're defensive or aggressive.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so it's interesting. They might have some detailed AI going on.
So now that these guys spawn, they target my healer, which is always scary. I'm just trying to like keep people alive or kind of move. I'm just still trying to learn. We're kind of full. I wanted to get to my ice guy because I totally boned that. Hey, let me just speed up here. Playback speed. I need a shortcut for this faster. 2 times speed, playback, speed, faster. 3 times. Here what are we getting here? This is the speed buff. Okay, we wanted to haste our magic user. She has this cool counter ability. The flame counter. I'm just trying to get to the point where so right there, this was a bad mistake. No, this one is okay. I put him behind that other guy. So if Sir Maxwell attacks, then he'll get the double hit. But we're about to see the big no. Oh yeah, I tried to go. So she is maxed out. She's got the 5 pips. So I wanted to get her attacking. She's got this slumber stab that takes 2, and I was moving her into position to attack this guy because he was low on HP. But I didn't realize how little it would actually do. Like he's got a lot of these enemies have like 100 HP. She goes stealth, and then she can go hit. Okay, watch this. Watch this boner move. Here, let me playback speed.
Okay, so it looks like you were trying to get your units backs to a wall as much as you could, right? So that enemy couldn't get any critical backstabs.
Yeah, or the free double hit. So I move him here. Watch, I thought this wall of ice was going to do damage. Instead, all it does is put this fucking wall. Beep.
I'll hear it. Yeah.
All it does is put this wall here, and it has protected his booty from getting backstabbed. That's all it did, is just to block it off. That's such a cool defensive move, right? That's super sick. So then I use my fire mage here when she's awesome to cast this fireball in the middle, burn it down and do damage. I was like, okay, I'm fine. I was like, at this point, I'm like, okay. We had a little bit of a mistake. I'm still learning. I didn't know what was happening. And watch the punishment that ensues. This was so fast. Okay, so I didn't realize I was targeting him to die because, okay, finally we get the kill on him. Cool, you're dead. I should have put him in the middle here, but I didn't. Oh yeah, enemies can also drop loot. This is pretty cool. I also like that they can level up mid-battle, and then you unlock new abilities mid-battle. I thought that was so fun, man. All right, it hasn't gone to heck yet. We're just trying to do some bow damage here to build up her to build up your stuff. Miss, bummer.
So did you get the listing for the second battle, or was it still asking you to go through more story points?
No, I'm ready.
Because
The next one is queued.
okay, because I did notice that it's a level 10 encounter, and I only had 2 level 10 characters by the time I was there, and everyone else was level 9. So I wonder if I'm not being efficient in the way that I have my characters act so that they don't level up fast enough, or if the encounters are supposed to start out kind of hard, but then you'll level up in mid battle, and then you'll be like at the correct level for that encounter.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Okay, my ice mage here. He had his valiant one ice wall cast. This guy goes behind him, gets a crit behind. This guy's here, gets an auto hit behind. This guy gets into position, gets Benedict. Okay, this guy gets a smack. This guy automatically behind him, crit dead. He didn't even do anything. Oh man, no, it was brutal. Oh, so that was that. Unfortunately, he didn't gain any experience the entire time. It just kind of happened, man. It was just done and done and done. Eventually, we recovered and kind of made it through. But yeah. So, do you want to talk anything specific on it?
So I definitely in the second encounter had like 3 or 4 of my units die, and I was so scared that that would mean that I would lose them permanently, like you would have permadeath for your units, but apparently you don't. So it's not as punishing as I was expecting it to
There
be.
may be a permadeath option like Fire Emblem has.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, even our main character died, I think, in that encounter, but Roland did not. But I know that the lose condition for this one is for Roland to be incapacitated. So
Right.
each battle is going to have different conditions for success and failure. Trying to remember anything specific about this battle. Yeah, it was more just trying to figure out what the heck I was supposed to be doing.
This is maybe too fast. This is too fast.
Kind of Maxwell was the star of the show. I was basically just trying to make sure that Roland stayed alive, and I was watching Maxwell do all of his obnoxious, just murder everything moves.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. I was really digging this. I really liked the fire. Frederica has this like fire ability that you can cast, and it gives you a counter ability. I'm just loving it. It's Final Fantasy Tactics, man. It's good. It's fun. The characters seem rad. The voice acting is fun. I'm in. I'm in so hard. It's just one of those games where it's exhausting. It's taxing. You should play. I will. Man, you could borrow Rayman.
Oh yeah,
Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah,
Kingdom Battle, I think it's called. Excuse me. It's more XCOM, so it's much more intense.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing like this kind. It's similar, I guess, but it's more XCOM related combat. And it's very fun though. But the intro ones are fun, and it gets so hard and so brutal. I would finish those. It'd be like 45-minute hour, and then if you die, you're like, oh, brutal, man. It's just the worst.
It's a lot of stress and strain. Like after one encounter, you just want to like take it, turn it off for a bit, give yourself a break, come back later, which is what I did with this.
This is one of those games. These are those type of games where I couldn't stream them long term. I would need to like stream one battle or stream maybe a couple battles and then be like, all right, let's play a different game. Let's do some just chatting or let's just hang out now, like, because they get very intense.
Yeah. So the second encounter in this demo introduced environmental traps, and so you could actually activate a trap that would for that particular encounter, and I activated them really early on because I was just like, well, there's a lot of random enemies that it would be good to have out of the way so that I don't have to waste turns on them, I don't have to lose any HP or use up any TP. So I activated these traps and then actually like closed off like large multi-square areas of the map and burn them aflame. All the enemies in those areas instantly died, and then like you basically just could not traverse through those areas anymore. So it does kind of tighten up your usable play area, but getting the enemy units out of the way in my mind was like foremost important. It is hard to keep track though of like where you're going to go and where enemies are going to go, and so I just kept finding myself in situations where I was getting double attacked, and that's why I lost a few of my units. So that kind of sucks.
I really like how big the party is.
Yes, I did actually also get a couple of units just from the side stories, but I forgot about them when I was starting the battle, so I didn't actually get to put them on the field. So I think
Those other
8 or
house
9
lords.
or yeah, either other house lords or just no, one of them actually was a doctor or a nurse or a medic, and they were fed up with the hospital that they were working at because they were valuing some lives over others, and so she had to let a person die because she was not allowed to heal them versus healing other people. So she was like, screw this, and so she left and was like, I want to join your team because like you all fight for what's right. And so but
Interesting.
yeah,
So
I didn't
I didn't
realize. Yeah.
I didn't get the opportunity to yet fully finish the second battle that Cassette was talking about. So I'm going to finish. I'm interested in playing it. But I did some of the side missions. I got introduced to those other house lords, but I didn't meet the doctors. Did you get it once you went into the battle? Once you zoned back in?
No, it was sometime before the battle. I wonder if you get different side stories unlocked for yourself, because I think I did lose the opportunity to see a few of them as soon as I went into a red exclamation mark.
Yes.
So you get these green exclamation marks that are all the side
I
stories,
didn't
and
do
then you
the
get the
first
red ones
green
that,
one. Is that what it
yeah.
was? Ah.
No. It
Oh,
wasn't one of the first ones because I definitely ignored those.
okay.
So I think it really is just kind of like slightly choose your own adventure. Like you might get some different units with a different assortment of abilities unlocked here and there,
Maybe.
but it kind of gives you a reason to go to those side stories, because people around the world are going to hear about your exploits as what's his name again, Wolfort.
Yes.
People will hear about your exploits,
Roland.
and it'll
Sarah
not
Noah.
Roland. Sarah, no, thank you. It'll draw people to your encampment to be like, hey, I want to fight for you.
The thing about all these type of games that I think inherently turns people off, that, and I fully understand, is that they're basically like menu based games, right? They're map and menu based. That's why games like Divinity and like the more open, when they have like an actual world and then you go into battles like this, I find those so fun, because you have like a world to explore and you have a map to actually walk around in, and then your battle encounters are like this. Unfortunately, that's not like this. This is a pretty traditional style of setup where you have individual maps, but it is what it is. I'm still super into play it. I'm sure it'll be a blast. I'm sure you'll get like 20 or 30 hours in, the game will get insanely hard, and then you're doing sweats the entire time and hoping that you win and don't waste like 2 hours in a battle or something like that.
That boss encounter at level 10 in chapter 6 is stupid hard, just FYI.
Oh, I'm gonna
myself,
replay
at least.
this. I'm gonna start over,
curious.
and I want the Ice
Okay.
Mage, so I'm gonna play a full one again, and now I know a little bit better how to play. I'm gonna redo this, and I want to do the boss battle to get some touching on it for sure.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how that how your next round of it will go for you. I'm also really curious what the full title of this game is going to be.
Same thing.
We still don't know that.
They're gonna keep it the same, just like Project Octopath Traveler or whatever. They just dropped the project.
Okay, so it's just triangle strategy.
I bet they got to at this point. It's kind of the naming formula for them, right?
Or the Salt Ion strategy or something like that, maybe.
Oh,
Who
Salt
knows?
Ion strategy. Yes, I see you.
Yeah.
There was something else I was gonna say.
Mhm.
Dang, it escapes me. Bummer.
While you're thinking about that, my only like things that were kind of distracting for the game is like when you're in story mode, there's that very subtle like rotational effect that's going on
Oh, I
with
like
the
it.
play area.
Yeah, I know. It's a strat. I very much noticed it.
The sprite scaling, like the way that the pixels were
Thank
just
you.
kind of
I
like
just
grid
remembered.
warping.
Yep.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
I did not care for that. I kind of wish that during conversations they would just keep the camera still, because there's something about the pixel scaling on the sprites that just is way too distracting when that's happening.
Okay, so here's the thing.
just me.
That's a
Yeah.
Switch thing, because Octopath on the Switch is the exact same way. And if you play, so I was watching. Who was I watching play it on PC? I forget. Maybe it was
Well,
just
I was.
oh, it was you. Yeah, Octopath on PC doesn't have that, right?
Okay, so
You don't have the texture
I
warping.
have noticed that even the menu for the Switch, just the home elements, they have some really bad scaling
Yes,
or
and
filtering
fuzzy.
on the scaling.
Yeah,
So it must just be, yeah.
I think
We
it's a
didn't talk
Switch
about the Switch Pro stuff.
Oh, we totally didn't talk about the Switch Pro. So I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. I was gonna talk about the Monster Hunter Rise thing as well. So we can kind of all loop this in together. But
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So yeah, I think it is a Switch thing, because that was one of the biggest things. I forgot it was you that streamed it. Yeah, I was like, Tatla streamed it, but she also did it on the Switch. That was one of the biggest things that I noticed on the PC release of Octopath, next to, of course, the 60 frames, was there was no texture warping, none of that stuff. And knowing the menus here, remember I said how clumsy the menus were? Because every time you see me mousing around, it has to load and think about what you can possibly do, and it got a little clunky. It was a little chunky in there. I hope they do improve performance, but my only problem is I would much rather just play this on PC, Although, I don't know, some of these battles, I'd rather it might just be nice to turn it off mid-battle, if you need to stop and take a break for a second.
yeah.
I do love RPGs on the Switch, so who knows? But yes, the texture warping thing, I think it is purely a result of the Switch, because it does not happen on Octopath on PC. So it's a bummer that we have to wait probably a year for it to come out on PC, because it will eventually. They did the same thing with Octopath, and it leads me into Monster Hunter Rise. Man, I don't know if I want to play that on Switch anymore, because it's the same type of thing though. It happened with World. They had it was a 9-month delay on their release, and everything was delayed. The DLC, the patches, all the cool stuff. They eventually caught up now, but it took forever. So you get like massive FOMO. I had put hours into it and then played on PC. So now I'm like, man, I want Monster Hunter Rise on PC big time, but I don't know.
It's all RE. It's all RE engine. Why can't it be a simultaneous release?
Yeah, that's the biggest reason I'm excited about it, because Monster Hunter World is MT framework and it chunks, man. It still runs hard on my machine, and knowing that Rise is RE engine and it's made to run on the Switch, it's inherently going to run better on your PC. I have grown to love playing Monster Hunter with a mouse and keyboard. It is 100% my preferred way to play it. Man, I kind of want to just wait and just play Rise on PC next year.
I think that's probably going to be the way to go, yeah. So it's going to take us a while to get the hardware to want to play it anyway as well, with the shortage of graphics cards and whatnot, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Switch. That is a thing. You can play it right now. It might, I might cave. Who knows? This is not a thing. I know we have some people in our community that specifically started subbing because we were streaming Monster Hunter, and I feel bad that we stopped streaming it. And
Sorry, y'all.
I know. I'm sorry. I want to. Believe me, I want to play it. It's just I also think Monster Hunter games. I know they were. I played a ton of Freedom Unite on the PSP. I get it, it's fun, but at the same time, those fights can last a long time the harder you get, and I don't really care about the portability of it. Like a game like this where I can put it down, it's fun, but if I'm playing Monster Hunter, I'm probably playing online, I'm probably playing with friends, and I don't care about the portability. I don't need that. I'm fine playing it at my machine.
Right, yeah, I agree with that.
Anyway, so that kind of just leads. We could lead into the Switch Pro. There are rumors for the Switch Pro. There's been more. It's still 720p. It's a OLED display though. That's what the more rumors are kicking in. So
that's
we'll
pretty
see.
Cool.
We'll see if we can actually get non-docked, because when you don't dock Switch right now and you play Xenoblade, it's like 540p, right? So people were kind of scoffing at the 720p resolution, but who knows if they give us something. It sucks. I would love to have 1080p handheld, whatever. But their games are made for that, so they're made to render docked at 720p, so it totally makes sense why they would be trying to just hit that target render and not try to go past it, right? It makes total sense. So this is the Switch architecture. The Switch architecture is inherently 720p until they start releasing like new SKUs and new things that have patches for these things. You know, unless they just are unlocked frame rate, which I have a tendency to think that they're not. Most of their games are pretty solid.
Yeah,
they just kind of run at different resolutions. They have dynamic resolutions sometimes, but who knows? I don't fully know the architecture of those, but their games, their target render when you're docked is 720p, so that's what they're targeting. Period.
I was kind of scoffing at the whole 4K functionality when docked, but I guess like as a multimedia platform as well, like it works great if you're watching TV, but I can't see any games benefiting from that at all.
I mean, it could be cool. Like, yeah, if there's some new tech that I don't know about and they can dock it and you give it 4K, you know, and they have their software that's made for like a PS4 Pro version, you know, where it's unlocked frame rate and you can unlock your resolution too. Heck yeah. If you can actually deliver that kind of tech, I'm super in. There's no way I would say no to it. All I'm saying is I'm not surprised that it's 720p. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
That's going to be the most affordable thing for them to hit. A 720p OLED is probably very affordable to manufacture in these times. It's probably accessible to manufacture.
Yeah.
So yes, I would love for them to release some 1080p, you know, thing that you can dock and it's 4K. It upscales all the games. I just don't think the games are written for that. You know, I think a lot of Japanese developers, they don't tend to write their games like that. They tie their game logic to frame rate, and I could be wrong, but from historically, from what I've seen, that's the way Japanese developers do a lot of their work. So I don't expect miracles. And this is Nintendo. They're very conservative with their stuff. I'm realistic in it. So all I'm thinking is cool. 720p guaranteed. I don't like the screen on this thing. It's terrible. Give me an OLED. That's awesome. That'd be beautiful, right? So I'm still in. If we can actually buy one, you know, who knows? So this was Sir Maxwell. We made it on the boat.
'Tis you who should be seeking mercy.
Must you do this? Very well.
Avlora is so wonderful.
If you don't know, I love Dragoons. I love the way the ship looks, man. It looks so cute.
The music is so perfect.
It's so hype.
You were only toying with me at the tourney.
Only a fool shows what they can do when the stakes are so trifling.
I could not have said it better myself.
Go.
Awesome.
How do you still stand?
You were this realm's fiercest warrior, Dawn Spear.
Ooh!
But today your sun sets.
Oh no.
And a
This
new
music.
age begins.
It gives me late 70s, early 80s anime TV show vibes. And that's good for me. So I think you're going to disagree with me on this.
Dark Metamorphosis. What?
Okay, part of me is kind of like, that's kind of a plunk for what the result of that is, but I really like all the dithering in this.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it too. This looks great.
Cool.
I don't believe he's dead though.
No,
And I think he's a bad guy still.
Or maybe he wasn't, but as a result of this.
Oh.
Now he's the Midnight Spear or
Cut
something.
down. This Dayman. Dawn Man. Fighter of the Nightman. Dawn Spear. Fighter of the Moon Spear. Anyway.
If you got a Switch and this
And
tickled
so
anything
it
for you,
was
just download the demo. It's worthwhile. It's a great play.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's super fun.
All right, so this past week for myself, I finally got to replay The Last of Us Part 1. I played this game originally. When did it release? 2012, 2013
Somewhere in
on
there. Yep.
PS3.
Yep.
Yeah, so I went through like one, maybe two playthroughs of it. I doubt two, way back when, and I finally got to borrow it from Son so that I could do the PS4 remaster. And this game is so beautiful, and it actually plays really well for how old it is. But or I guess it's not really that old, so it should still play fine. But after so much of playing like Monhun and Dark Souls and all that kind of stuff, like the controls, all the functions are on completely different buttons, so it was
Yes.
very weird.
Especially
getting
run.
used to
Don't
it
you
at
run
first.
with the R1 or L1 or something like that?
L1,
Yep.
yeah. I don't know. I maybe I need to replay Uncharted because I don't remember the control structure being the same for Uncharted either.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah. Anyway, I decided to play this without the broken listen mode effect. So basically just working off of my own hearing and my own visual um aptitude. I don't know what you want to call it. Played it on hard mode, and while a lot of the areas were very trial and error, I this was a very satisfying experience. I don't know if I've had a satisfying hard mode on anything else in recent times, but uh the stealth and the stealth kills were very rewarding. I cannot wait to try maybe doing survival or grounded for part 2, but I don't know if that would be
Whoa.
necessarily the best way to play it as my first playthrough for that.
Might be a bit of a slog.
Yeah. There were definitely a couple of areas that were sloggy, like the winter section was definitely a pain in the
what?
ass in this.
Oh, I was just this guy. Your stick went right through him. It totally whiffed.
Yeah, okay. So let's I thank you for reminding me. I want to bring that up.
Can I jump back here? Let's watch.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Remaster, compared to my memory of the original version, which is very hazy because it's been
Right here.
years. This version felt really buggy.
Whiff. There
I had a lot of really weird whiffs. I had delayed reactions. I had the game ignore my inputs when it actually had a prompt up for doing something. I've had times where the screen would go black before the death actually occurred. It was just like a lot of really weird stuff happening. But honestly, it didn't like break the game or anything like that for me. But it was just kind of like really odd when you just get some weird death that didn't seem to make any sense. I had an enemy that like clipped through a floor, like a second floor, and then I went downstairs to go kill it so that the game would like clear the area and can, like, your character has the like, well, that's that. And that enemy, when I went back to the first floor, that enemy ended up clipping through that floor as well into the void underneath the world. So that was definitely something. Other than that, this game is beautiful. It looks really good for the remaster. Still plays great. The story is still really heartbreaking. I was happy jumping back into this again. Thanks for letting me borrow it, son. I love this game. Yeah, I would like to do another playthrough. But based on just like how much time I have, I think I'm gonna have to set it down for the next while for sure, since I'm going to be starting I have already actually started Ghost of Tsushima, so I'm going to be focusing on that for the next 2 or 3 weeks probably.
Do you want to? Should you play through The Last of Us 2 now while there's no patch for the PlayStation 5, or do you want to keep playing Ghost? I want to play one of the two, whatever one you don't play, but I'm not going to play Last of Us 2 until they give it a patch. So I might play some Ghost if you wanted to play The Last of Us 2 instead.
I would be actually down with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, like I want to dig into Tsushima, and don't take my like difficulty with lethal as a indication that I don't want to play it. But since you offered that idea, that actually does sound like a great idea. It would be nice to I didn't even consider that, but it
I
would be
didn't either.
cool to jump back into this again for part 2. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because I'd been wanting to play part 2 again a lot because
Mhm.
I played through it last year, and I, I always love a game the second time more or less. Obviously you just kind of got to re-ingrain it into your head. But I kind of go through, especially when you're streaming it. It's a very weird experience when you want to be. You feel like you should be done with the game. You know what I mean? You're like, I've been streaming
Yeah.
this for like X amount of weeks, and this game is
Right.
very long. 2 is very long, and 1 is not. 1 is like what, 12 to 15 hours. So I fully
It
anticipated.
was about that.
Yeah, I fully anticipated 2 to happen, or to be around that time. And one of our friends had mentioned that she had heard that it was about that long. So I was going into it with that mindset, and I kept asking our friends, "Am I close to the end yet? Am I close to the end?" And everybody's like, "No, dude, no, dude, no, dude." And it is a long game. So I
Yeah.
will admit, I want to experience it again, where I can fully just go into it knowing what's happening, not worrying about spoilers, because Cassette and I were on edge the entire time with people coming in and
Yeah.
doing spoils. I didn't even stream in the directory because it was so bad. We had somebody come in and spoil Xenoblade within the first 15 minutes about a
Yeah.
character that died. Man, and of course we can't react out loud, right? I can just be like, "Man, that sucks," and ban them, because if I say it out loud, then people are just lurking that may not be watching the screen. They didn't get spoiled, right? So it's up to your responsibility as the streamer to not do that, and it just kills your mood, man. It's such a bummer. So anyway, we didn't want to risk any of that for The Last of Us 2, and we didn't even we streamed in the non-direct. We didn't even stream in the directory, right? It was just, if you knew me, if you followed me, you could come to the stream. That was it.
Mhm.
And it was okay. But I gotta be honest, not streaming in the directory for like a month was kind of a bummer, man. It just, I felt so detached from the rest of Twitch, I guess. No new people.
Yeah.
It just felt so isolating. So I'm looking forward to just my whole second experience, not being worried about the spoil, not being worried about anything. So I want to play it again. I've been having the Jones in to play it again, but there's no PlayStation 5 patch, and I do not want to play it again. So yeah, if you want to play this one now, I think
I do.
better for you to borrow this one now, get it out of the way, so whenever that patch happens, I can just play it. I don't gotta wait. It's just like, sweet, I can play it. Let's go. Just like the God of War thing, which I gotta do that one as well. And I'm kind of watching you play Ghost. I kind of want to play some more of that. It instantly made me want to play it. I may even
I love that your first comment when I booted it up was like, I bet I'm gonna want to play this now after I'm gonna watch you play it, and sure enough.
It always happens, but I mean, Pelico
Yeah.
said the same thing with me playing Final Fantasy 12. So
Mhm.
that is one of the most fun things about Twitch. Your friends play games and you want to jump in with what your friends play. So that's cool, man. Well, yeah, would this be a game that you would start next week then?
Yes. Or this
Awesome.
week even, depending. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Wednesday. Yeah, that's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So this coming Wednesday, what is that? Wednesday the 10th. Oh, I'll be on site.
Yeah.
I got to work after hours. That's cool. I'll be home later in the evening that I could probably catch some of your stream. But I got to.
It'll be a slow start, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. You're right. Oh, I'm
Mhm.
not gonna. And I'm more. Yeah, you're right. I'll probably. Yeah, I might even be home by the time you start going. Anyway, okay.
Nice.
Now back on track. That's cool. So if you start playing that one,
Mhm.
so there you go, guys. Tune in and watch Cassette start playing Last of Us 2. And then you may catch me playing some Ghost, but I'll probably just play that off stream, honestly. I just want to mess about with it because there was so much of the side stuff that I didn't do.
I was thinking about doing some of that offline before we had this conversation. So yeah. I
Did you
feel
even
like
put Ghost on the docket for today to talk about?
No, because I figured it'd be too early to start talking about it.
No way. Let's hear your initial impressions. They weren't positive. I'm curious why you didn't like it. Can we? You want to?
No,
you want to
no,
transition?
hold on.
I'm
Who said
playing. I'm playing.
Okay,
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
I just want people to know it wasn't that I didn't like it. One thing that I did want to mention really quick about Last of Us, though, I hate the shooting in this so much.
Oh,
As much as I like everything else about the game, I hate the shooting.
but the
game
gun
is
sounds are so good.
yes, they are,
So
but the way
good.
that the guns feel, I maybe partly because I was on a harder mode. Like you headshot someone, it doesn't kill them instantly, and the aiming is terrible. And the fact that you only get like a few bullets in any area just makes it basically, I did not want to rely on my guns except for the bow. The bow is amazing.
Love the bow,
The
bro.
bow and the
Love the bow,
rifle
bro.
are the best part of the whole game. A bow bro, bow bro for life.
Bow, bro, for life. Yeah, bud.
That's my biggest complaint. Basically, my largest complaint about the game is just the fact that like the shooting is terrible in my opinion. So I basically ended up just trying to stealth through everything and just use bricks and bottles to distract enemies, and then I would choke them out, and that made it more fun. But yeah, also shout out Tattoo. You're
shout
wonderful.
out Tattoo.
I
We love
appreciate
you.
so much.
Oh, you're the best.
Mhm.
Shout out Tattoo. Oh, shout out Tattoo. One thing, my biggest complaint with these games is it's the same problem I have with Ghost. It's the same problem I have with many of these games. I feel that there's too many enemies and they have too much HP. I wish the guns did way more. I wish you shot somebody, they died. I wish you got shot, you died. I wish there was half the enemies. But the OP listen mode is broken, and it's if you play on normal with the listen mode, I find the game not fun. Like truly, it's just like okay, you just make it through the game. It's not even like tough. But if you go too much, when you go harder, the enemies just get more bullet spongy, and it's frustrating. It's not an enjoyable difficulty spike. The lethal mode in Ghost of Tsushima is awesome. I love it. I still wish there was half the enemies, and I wish the sword was even more lethal. I wish you took even more damage. I think you wish you get cut, you die. I think that'd be great. This game, I wish there was half the enemies because the maps in these games are awesome. Watching you play this, the maps are so fun. And The Last of Us 2, that is the best thing about The Last of Us 2. I don't care what you have to say about the story. I don't care if you like it or if you don't like it. If you like the gameplay, if you don't like the gameplay, if you like the characters, I don't care anything about it. No matter what, you can admire the level design of The Last of Us Part 2. It is insanely good. Oh god. I probably timed out. Zotac store. I don't want a Zotac, but we're gonna go for it. We'll see if it pops up. Oh, sign up to get notified. I already missed it. They start to come in every now and then. I would say just leave this in. You don't have to cut. I think it's kind of funny. This is the life trying to get a video card, y'all. Sorry, I saw the message pop up and we go. Anyway, yeah. Other than that, though, I love these games. They're fun. The sound effects are so good on the guns, especially The Last of Us Part 2, man. The freaking guns are insane.
To borrow the terminology that they use, the game does a lot with its atmosphere to make you feel very grounded in this world. Things are more visceral. You do get a little bit more direct, just like melee attacks feel very damaging. Everything is wonderful about their presentation. It's so good.
I think you'll like the gameplay. I think you'll like the gameplay improvements in 2 as well.
I imagine I will. Yeah.
Oh, the bombs are so fun too. That's my favorite part.
It's still my favorite moment from your playthrough and near the end when you basically trip mined a few of the enemies, and it was just like Splatter City, and it was so perfect.
Did we take any clips of that?
There should be a clip of it, yes.
Man, that was
maybe
so
I'll
good.
interject it.
If you could find it during the edit, holy cow! There was a moment where the trip mines are like or the landmines are my favorite weapon in these games. The shotgun and the bow are also dynamite, but I love those bombs. And man, you like can set them down and you can lay in the grass and one person and you'd kind of trigger them over. And I just had set them all over the place and just random people would walk, blow up. It was so good, man. The game is so fun. I'm looking forward to you playing through that again just to watch it. Yeah.
I'm excited to jump into it.
Cool, man. Well, that's cool. I guess. So do we want to talk about? I'd like to talk about Ghost a little bit. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, transitioning over to Ghost of Tsushima. Before we start, we got to just play this intro to give you an understanding of the bad guy. This game is all serious business, by the way.
I'm wondering how much myself I'm gonna have to censor in the edit. God, it's such a beautiful shot. You need to replay Last of Us 2, and then we can swap. Sounds good to me.
Well, we just talking about that. Yeah.
Yep.
We're doing it early, y'all.
Well, it makes sense, TJ. English
Send
is the
your
primary language
finest
for this
warriors
game,
to face me. I guess we don't need to show it in.
but
That's just, oh,
I
this
find
is
it
your
funny
shame. You
that
don't mind me
this part
talking.
is the best. Yeah, I don't
He
know.
comes out with this fucking bowl. He's drinking.
Would have been nice.
I just cursed.
Would have been nice. Are we supposed to know who that is? Is he supposed to know who that is? Yeah, exactly.
Legend. Get burned.
Are you fucking kidding me? I love this,
And done.
this scene so much.
It's so good.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
The glaive too is beautiful. My face. That is okay. That's awesome.
Oh, that was really funny. I did that hiccup on the audio, and it just kept it. It was like right when you even did a hiccup. Okay, so go ahead. Thoughts. Talk to me. Talk to me about this opening, this intro. You chose lethal mode. You're coming in here for the first time, and you're fighting a bunch.
Yeah. So before I get into that, I just want to say don't do Kurosawa mode as your first entry into this game. It's too distracting.
You want to explain
There's
what
not
that
enough
is?
visual information. Huh?
You want to explain
So
what that is?
Kurosawa mode, you're seeing here, the game is in black and white. The sound is slightly compressed. You got a film grain over everything. It's using the Japanese voices. So it's supposed to give a presentation similar to the films of mid 20th century from Akira Kurosawa, who is a huge name in Japanese cinema. Did a lot of fantastic films. If you get a chance, just like any of his films are a good pick. But yeah, so unfortunately, I don't think the game is really designed around being in black and white. So it is kind of easy to get a little bit just not really distracted, but kind of lost because of the loss of visual information. Anyway, it was cool as presentation. Actually, some of the environments look incredible in black and white, just almost ethereal. But definitely save that as a subsequent playthrough kind of function. Jumping into the battle, I kind of kept forgetting that I was on lethal mode. So I was just like, oh, okay, some of these enemies are distracted. Cool, I'm cutting them down in a couple swipes. This is great. Jumping into the next enemy. All of a sudden, like, I get swiped once and I fall down. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm on lethal mode. This is like almost instant death. So I need to be actually careful. Starting to pay attention to the vibration in the controller and the muted sound and the heartbeat effect going on, so I could tell, oh, I'm low health. I need to wait for my health to regenerate. But it kind of gave you this like really cool sort of adrenaline packed introduction to this invasion from the Mongols, and it was just like a really cool way to introduce you to the game and the story. You get to be this badass Sakai, right? That's his name?
Jin Sakai.
Jin Sakai, yeah. And we get rightly humiliated and gain a little bit of humility from this first experience as this character, from this badass, this general here, Khan, who we saw completely destroy Adachi at the start of this introduction. And yeah, it's
Wow, look at that. Whoa, baby.
Mhm.
What was that shot? Whoa, baby.
Yeah, that's some good cinema.
I got this full screen right now, so it's wow. Wow. Fucking hell, bro. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I was gonna say I'm getting so hyped to play this again.
Good.
So just watching you do that battle, and I want to do it in 60 frames. I'm so stoked.
Khotun Khan. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So for me,
The best
so
villain.
did you have anything else that you wanted to say on it?
The only thing was that I wish that they would retool some of the the checkpoints because I kept having to do that one tutorial about dodging arrows over and over and over and over and over again because the timing on parries is really tight and I'm playing on delay through OBS. So it's a bit of a pain in the butt. But it also teaches you humility on like, you know, how to make sure that you don't get surrounded or have too many enemies that you're trying to block or parry all at the same time. So you have to be very careful about choosing your immediate opponent and trying to sort of kite them away from other opponents so that you have a little bit of a safer time encountering them. But yeah.
So on this
That's
game,
all,
if you're
yeah.
playing lethal mode, I've said this before, but on games, but I'll say it again for this one as well. It doesn't want you to. Gamers like pushing buttons, and this game says don't push buttons. Be smart about your buttons. It gives you the hard shutdown, like Devil May Cry on like Dante Must Die mode. It's like stop push buttons, be responsible, or like Dark Souls. Dark Souls, Demon Souls says don't push buttons. This game, you want to push buttons, and I love it. It's no secret for me that I actively dislike Assassin's Creed style games that this is modeled after. I used to love AC. I loved AC 1 and 2 and Brotherhood, and 3 was the last one I really gave any sort of credence to, and I did not like Connor. I didn't like the environment. I stopped playing it. Regardless, that was kind of my last experience with it, and what they've kind of done, I'm just kind of out. I'm kind of over it. I don't like games where you can just kind of push buttons and you don't have to ever worry about pushing anything other than X button or whatever to attack. I find that boring. So especially on games that are really long like this. So this one, I was finding it a bit of a slog before. When the game first came out, I was playing it on hard mode, and I felt the enemies were like Uncharted. They have like bullet sponges. Well, these guys are like sword. These guys are like sword bullet sponges, and I was finding it a little bit of a slog because you run around. There's a lot of side quest. You go on the map and you just see a lot of points, and there's just a lot of stuff that doesn't need to happen. I feel the game is a little bit too long. That they could have condensed a lot of it. I feel it's a little unnecessary. But the combat is so freaking fun that on lethal mode, that for me personally, that I loved going back to this game. I loved playing it. Excuse me. I look forward to playing it again in 60 frames. I'm probably going to play it maybe I'll play Final Fantasy tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I think I'll play Final Fantasy tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll drive down and we can do a swap tomorrow or something before, and I'll play. Maybe I'll play it tomorrow night. I don't know. We'll see. I may just start a new game, so I can pick up. I think my save will let me pick up where I left off. There is a lot of side stuff that I didn't do, but I'm fairly certain they have a new game plus mode. So I'd rather just start that up, quite frankly. That way I could start it, new game plus lethal and get going from there. The one thing, I did find it to be a little bit, samey. Just the combat was so fun. So once you can, if you like the combat, then it's there. The one thing I will comment, and I was trying not to be, because I hate. One of the biggest things I don't like is when people come into someone's stream and say something negative about the game they're playing or whatever. It's not your stream, it's their choice on whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Just save whatever you're gonna say, man. Just whatever you're gonna say. I don't care if it's a joke. I don't care. Just it's not. They're there and they're excited to play the game. Don't. Can you bleep me? Don't shit on the game. I got a notification. How old is this? It's
just a 5800X.
Yeah, call it out if you see it. Anyway, so I was trying not to say anything negative about it. I was trying to kind of like lean in and say some things here and there, but like you're playing in the Kurosawa mode. Kurosaka or Ga? Kurosawa, thank you. You're playing the Kurosawa mode, and it's cool. Like it kind of almost makes Jeremy Gone Wild. Shout out Jeremy Gone Wild. Made a good point. It almost makes the game look more realistic in some parts.
Actually,
like when he was on the beach, that made it look really good. It looks really cool, I think, for setting up certain shots. Some fights, I think some of the one-on-one fights would look amazing in this with the water pouring in, the wind blowing. Go ahead.
Well, especially with like, because this sort of happens in autumn at first and then winter, right?
Correct.
Or at least it has a lot of autumn colors to it. In black and white, it makes it look so much like infrared photography, and which is where, especially in nature, a lot of leaves, a lot of green stuff reflects a whole lot of infrared light. So you get these just like bright, blossoming plants, and then like so many other things are just so dark, and like the sky. Well, not in the case of this, but like in infrared photography, you see almost like empty black skies because there's no infrared light being reflected by the oxygen in the air. Anyway, but it's the etherealness is where it's at for me.
This looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that beach shot was incredible.
So what I wanted to say though is I didn't want to come into your stream and like talk negatively about it, but I do really feel it takes so much away from this game because this game is insanely beautiful. The colors, the landscapes, it's hyped up obviously and not realistic, but it is so worth playing with the color because you just get these huge vistas and you get these like brilliant yellows, and when the things catch on fire, it is just so beautiful to see. And quite frankly, yes, I truly feel it would be hard to see because I think there's two different flashes. There's a blue flash, which is the ones you can parry, and then there's a red flash, which is unblockable, and you have to actually dodge those. You can't tell the parry flashes. It would be so cool if they left it like this, where it was black and white and everything, but they still left those blue, like blue flash or orange flash. Like that wouldn't take away from it at all. I think it would be really neat.
Or at least change the way that the indication shows up, if not color, somehow by another geometric design so that you could tell the difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really does come back around to like the Kurosawa mode is pretty, but the game isn't designed around being in black and white.
Right.
Which is a darn shame. But for a subsequent playthrough or like NG Plus, I would absolutely do this. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like I said, moments. Like there are certain fights,
that
I can just think about immediately. That would be so cool. You haven't even done a boss fight, dude. The boss fights are so fun. There's so much more to this than you experienced. And as we said earlier, the hard games are always hard at the beginning with these type of things. As soon as you start getting abilities, it makes it so much easier on you. And the kunai, man, the ninja abilities are broken. The kunai is like an easy one button. You basically just like anytime I would get in trouble, I just hit kunai, throw kunai. Okay, that guy would be like staggered or die instantly, and or the sticky bombs, the smoke. Anyway, go ahead.
That's the thing is like I was trying to figure out if there was a way to tell difficulty, and I didn't see it immediately, and I'd gone off into the forest to deal with those bandits who are trying to be like ghost warriors that are murdering anyone who comes into the forest. And it was a really tough encounter because there's just so many of them, and I was realizing as we were talking about this, like, oh, I probably just needed to progress through the game and unlock more abilities so that I would have better crowd control abilities to be able to take them on. But otherwise, I don't know if there is an actual difficulty indicator for areas or stories.
I don't recall actually.
Yeah,
I think maybe one of the icons on the map itself might be like red or yellow or something like that.
Oh, well, there we go.
We'll see right here. I don't know for sure though. Maybe that's story mission and side mission.
So
I think it's going to tell us right here. Here, should we watch? Should we watch the explanation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's coming up to. Oh, sorry.
The when they have the faces, these are all your side missions for your teammates. You obviously want to do these to get their storylines. Go ahead though. You were saying.
So two things were absolutely gorgeous in black and white. The introduction of the map just now looked amazing to me in black and white. I'm sure it looks great in color too.
The film grain was pretty neat.
Yeah. But also I would say that regardless of playing the rest of the game in Kurosawa mode, playing the intro in that mode was pretty fantastic. Since you don't have any HUD and it's all just about like the tactile response of how your health is.
I just say lull at yellow and red, you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know. I remember the question marks were yellow, maybe. I forget. I'm kind of jonesing. I'm getting in the mood to play this. I should go back and play Neo. I don't know. I just got to be in the mood for Neo. I'm not quite in the mood for it yet. Yeah. We'll see. We'll get there. Neo 2, we'll get you. We'll get you.
At least you got your introduction.
Yeah. Okay. So are you good on Ghost? It's fun.
I'm solid on Ghost.
I'll probably be playing it. Who knows? I've been pretty bad about sticking with the game. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really loving Final Fantasy 12. Transition to that. So check this out. We got this Gladius. I highly recommend it. Get it at the beginning of the game. It's amazing. So I had about 9 hours in right here where we're starting. And it's just the point where we're going to go to Bouger, and we get more introduction here. I gotta say, okay, before we jump too far in, well, whatever, we can just let this go. This is pretty fun to let this play.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 12. I've never played the Zodiac Age version. I've only played the PS2 version, so this is pretty cool. This game is still absolutely stunning. I adore Ivalice. Even look at these regular old dudes still have awesome looking armor. I think the judges are so sick. Essentially, I made this comment many times, and everybody seems to always kind of have a taken aback, and then seem to agree. I think I recorded did I record it? Wait, we did a full, didn't we do a brand new playthrough on one of these? This is like the second day, wasn't it? We started a brand new playthrough. Right. Okay, with Final Fantasy 12, it is essentially Final Fantasy if Final Fantasy was Star Wars. And you have the music is so similar to kind of John Williams, kind of, especially with the flourishes when they have like the and things of that nature. And it's so fun the way that they do the cuts. The judges are like the Darth Vader. They have these. We'll watch. We're gonna watch the opening intro, and we'll play it. We'll have the audio going, and you just think of in your mind Star Wars. And the whole time, yes, this is amazing, beautiful Final Fantasy lands, the chocobos and stuff, but still, just in the framing and the music, in the worlds, the exposed kind of engines and everything like that. So let's watch this full screen, and let's watch and listen. And please feel free to comment, Cassette.
Okay, thank you.
I'll turn it down. Tell me if it's too loud. Already right there, that little flying by.
Year 704, Old Valendian calendar.
Something that I didn't really think about is that I don't think there's any other Final Fantasy world other than Ivalice that has so many humanoid characters.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Or different species. It's actually really neat. It gives a much more lush world building.
And can we talk about how great the Ivalice Moogles are? I say it every time. Love Ivalice Moogles. Like, this gives me prequel vibes right here. Do you know what I mean? This is prequel vibes.
I know some people like the prequels, but this is like good prequel vibes.
I didn't mean negative. I just mean the way that they have the crowd situated and everything like this, right?
Oh, no. I just meant I was tempering my comment is what I was doing. God, even, PS2 was a glorious era. Happy birthday, boy. PS2. I know that this is all pre-rendered, but even back then with the pre-rendering technology that they had, they did an amazing job with these, just every vibe.
I love the fashion in this world. Look at his outfit and she's so pretty. Her dress is so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh. So Final Fantasy 15, I've said it before, EOS has taken my my love of the... Listen to the music. The way that the cameras go, all of this.
Nabudis has fallen. Impossible.
My father?
I know not. I am sorry.
Is this what you're talking about, the fake, with the little fake outs?
It's only a matter of time before they reach the borders of Dalmatia.
Right there.
No, not quite that. But like, for a while, you don't know whose experience you're going to be following for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of really good small introductions to different aspects of the conflict. The airships are so good.
I love this. This right here is very prequel to me.
Yes,
like droid army. Roger, Roger.
Yeah,
this
the
is so
invasion
droid
of
army.
Naboo or whatever.
Yes. Yes. So droid army. Roger, Roger. And look at like this. Oh my gosh. This is what are those racers? Pod racers?
Yeah.
Pod racer energy like beams. Blah, 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 blah.
I want to play that game again.
Galtea, stand watch over your life.
That I be considered worthy.
So I don't know if I've ever mentioned it recently at all, but I'm starting to get a little bit of a D&D bug. I'm sure I haven't mentioned that.
We talked about it the whole beginning of the podcast.
That's the joke. But I commented to you during your stream that, like, with the variation in this world, I'm sure
This right here,
someone
hold on.
has
This
to
fade,
have...
this cut. If they didn't have a wipe here, if they put a wipe in, then it would be 100%.
Yes, yes. Someone has to have made some sort of homebrew D&D classes and races and everything for the World of Evil release.
What the heck?
I kind of want to dig in. Yes, very.
That in-game cockpit shot right there.
That scene with all the soldiers must have taken so long. I know that these days, yeah.
Sorry, you were saying. Continue. My fault.
I know that these days you can use a lot of AI auto generation to make these battles with all these infantry and have them animate well enough and move independently and everything. But I don't think at this point in time we had that, and so all of this had to be so painstaking to make. Also, I know chocobos are mounts, but I mean, this could just be hungry Cassette talking, but I really want to know what chocobo nuggies would taste like.
Dude, you've been saying that. They're like their horses, though.
Yeah, we eat horses.
I imagine they're like emu, right? Ostriches, they're probably red meat.
Ooh. Yeah, interesting idea. Dang. Who was supposed to be defending them?
We were.
The paling's fallen. Then it's over. For my father. For my father! Lord Rasler!
Our buddy Stocking was watching this. Shout out Stocking. And he's like, wait a minute, this guy dies?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be him.
This isn't our main character? And then you play as who after this introduction?
I have not disliked Vaughn the way that I did the first time I played it.
Interesting.
Yeah, or Pinello. I've actually not disliked them at all. So I want to talk more about it, but we can just let this. We can talk about why this is going. Yeah, I've highly enjoyed the intro or the opening 12 hours that I played. There's a new fast forward mode that is just incredible. It takes a lot of the monotonous grinding out of this game. Oh, poor Ash.
Blessings of the Great Father descend.
From
Guide your body
wedding whites to funeral blacks so soon.
Great Father, guide your spirit's return to the Mother of all. There you shall find peace.
In the original game, the job board was completely open on your character class, and you could kind of, or for each of your characters, and you could kind of make a broken character. You could make him however you wanted, and it was essentially you didn't have to make any choices. In this one, they have individual jobs, so it was a little overwhelming when I went to play it for the first time, and it almost turned me off, if I'm not going to lie, because there are certain things, and I'll give it a quick rundown. Essentially, there are 4 quickening slots, and your quickening is your limit break, essentially, and you build up a mist bar, and there are 4 quickening slots on the job board, but you can only unlock 3 of them. Now, some of those have other upgrades behind those individual job slots, so you kind of have to pick and choose appropriately. And then you also get to 2 classes, so you get to dual class, and whatever one you unlock for one class, it unlocks the other. So you kind of have to plan out. There's a really helpful spreadsheet that I use. It's like a character planning spreadsheet, and it allowed me to visualize exactly how I was going to plan out my characters, and this allowed me to build my characters in a way that has been very fun, very accessible, and I can hit the fast forward button and just go grind out some JP. I really like the gambit system, quite frankly. I liked it back when I played it before, and I like it now.
And the gambit system is the AI customizability, like
Correct.
the kind of if-then commands.
Correct. And you can do it for yourself as well. And yes, it's basically, yes, it does take you out of the combat. It takes a lot, because they try to make it a real time, but what if not real time? It's kind of like Baldur's Gate, in that the game will always play out in real time until you, if you hit the X button, you'll pause the game and you can choose your abilities. You can put it in full speed mode and just kind of go all out. So here's the spreadsheet I was talking about. And you'll see with Vaughn right here, you see Vaughn, I have Shakiri and Bushi. And you see Ninja Swords 1, 2, 3, and the Dark Blade there. So you can only pick 3, so you have to give up 1. So most people give up Ninja Swords 2 or 3 because you want the Dark Blade. But you look at Bushi. Bushi gives me Battle Lore, which is melee damage up, plus HP. So of course I don't want to give up those. So I gave up Ninja Swords 1 because there's nothing in the Bushi slot. It's just a blank spot. So basically I've spread all my characters out except for Ash. If you see on the far right hand of the screen, she's got 1 in all 4, and it gets a little bit hairy, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, yeah. Once we have Balthier in the party, then you can actually start making gambits for everybody. So you see with Vaughn, he automatically gets in range of an enemy and he'll start attacking, and I have him set to target the lowest HP enemy, and then I have everybody else set to attack his target. And then I also have my healer, like Fran right now is our healer, and I have her set to heal anybody that drops below 90% health. Just go ahead and cast Cure on them automatically. So yes, the game itself is essentially running around and then managing. You can't gambit everything, right? The gambit system is basically just to get rid of the monotony. Once you get into more of the bigger battles and you actually need to choose like your fights, you'll see here, this should be a boss fight. Then yeah, you do need to actually pick and choose your abilities. But it's so funny. I got this. If you play this game, if you go Shakiri and you have daggers, get the Gladius at the very beginning of the game. Well, once you get Balthier, because it allows you to have wind damage, and I doubled my attack power, and it made this first part laughable, man. I just was destroying stuff. The Flan, they get healed by wind, so it actually I kind of turned it off fighting them, but anyway, yeah. So you have the gambit system, and you kind of just run around, and that's the way it is. It's a different experience, but the world and the I just love the design. Look at these characters. I mean, I love this HD version too, because you actually get to see all the colors. Like, I don't know if they'll show it here, but Balthier here, he's got really beautiful colored rings and bracelets that are under his cuffs. And Bosch, He's the night guy with the blonde hair. He's got like a sash under his leather chest piece that is multicolored and very bright and vibrant. And he has a lot of green on him. Look at this guy. I love the way he looks, man.
Can we talk about the pizza cutter here for a moment?
Bloodborne. Don't you love it?
Love it.
Yeah, I just love his character model, man. It just looks so stinking good. I have been repeatedly impressed because I thought this game was beautiful and stunning when the game first came out. And I remember playing this and I was like, what the heck? This game is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it has just gotten nothing but more beautiful. I'm very much looking forward to playing it.
The way that they combined the PS2 graphical capability with their art style, it just makes much more so than 10. I don't know, the expressiveness of faces, the emotiveness of faces in this game still looks amazing to this day.
Yes.
I mean, this isn't quite the end of the PS2 lifespan, was it?
Pretty close.
Was
This
it
is like
right before
MGS3.
PS3? Okay. Because obviously, you know, with hardware, as it ages, the libraries get better and developers know more how to really eke out every like nanoparticle of power out of a console. So games just end up looking better and better and better.
This came out March 16th, 2006, and then the PlayStation 3, you know, came out November that same year.
Okay.
So yeah, this was
There we
basically
go.
the end of the lifespan. So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, and we've talked about this before, but a lot of the PlayStation 2 games ended up looking kind of similar. Like, you know, they always have this kind of soft look, and they all kind of have, like, Metal Gear Solid looks like this a little bit. You know, they all kind of have that similar kind of vibe, which I just absolutely love. It's because the engines could only do X amount of things, and then they would kind of max out that they didn't have like a huge pipeline that they have now where you can choose different. There were no shaders or anything like that. All the effects kind of look the same, so you could either utilize the effects or not utilize the effects. And if you utilize certain effects, you kind of get a certain a look. You know, it's just as a result. So it kind of has a somewhat uniformity to it, which I just personally adore. Say again, sorry.
It was a really good time. I just said yes. There was a uniformity to it. You saying those words made a lot of sense.
If you see any of them, there was a game called like Mark of Cree. Go. That was a great.
I don't know that one.
Oh, we got it. We got to play. You got to play. I bet. Wait, was
I'm
this
writing
post?
it down right now.
I'm guessing if this was post robbery or not. I may still have my physical copy. Mark of Cree is a super fun character action game. Really fun, actually. Really cool character plot. Really cool, actually. I really like that game. Did you ever play Maximo, the Ghouls and Ghosts version on the PlayStation 2? Same team, you know, right? I think it was the same team that made it. That same director has been making those same games. He even did I forget his name. He even did the new one that's apparently insanely brutal and hard. I don't know if you've seen the new remake of that.
No, I have not.
It wasn't particularly pretty from what I saw. Were you a Ghouls and Ghosts fan or a Ghosts and Goblins fan?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I vaguely even know of it.
Oh, they're very hard. They are beautiful. If you play the original arcade release versions, they're so cool, man. You could probably emulate them. I think it's CPS 1. I don't think it's CPS 2, if I recall. Capcom.
Okay.
Hardware. Yeah. It's one of those. They're so cool. I forget. Ghouls and Ghosts, I think, is the first one, and Ghosts and Goblins. No. Ghosts and Goblins is the first one, and Ghouls and Ghosts is the sequel. One of those two. I forget. Regardless. And then, Maximo, though. You should check out Maximo. PlayStation 2, and it's basically like a spiritual successor to those, and they're very fun. Very fun. But they kind of have those same... You know, kind of same uniform look. They all these PS2 games, they kind of have that same kind of vibe. I just adore it, man. I adore it. Love it.
Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins in 85, and then Ghouls and Ghosts in 88.
There you go. go. Thanks for the
Gargoyle's
clarification.
Quest in 90. Yeah.
Oh, holy cow! Have you ever played? What's the?
Wait, I think I know of Maximo. I know of Maximo. Yeah.
Okay, cool. There's a game called Demon's Crest. Have you played that one or Demon Crest?
1994. Nope.
It stars Firebrand. Actually, do you have your Switch? It's on the It's on the Super NES store. It's a very fun side scroller RPG. Actually, it's very good. You got to play that one too at some point. Boy, that game is so fun. Although there's a mini game where you have to like jump and do like headbutts. So what you can do is you transform into like different gargoyle types. There's like a brawler one. There's a flying one. Firebrand's a flying one. I don't remember all the specifics, but very fun. But there's this mini game where you like jump up, have to headbutt, and there's like 4 different lines, or maybe 6 or 8 different, maybe even more, I forget, of little pips, and you have randomly gargoyle heads will spawn. You have to like jump up and headbutt them, and the timing is so hard. I look forward to you getting frustrated streaming that.
Let's just be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna get frustrated.
Yeah, it drove me mad back in the day. Anyway, yeah, dude. Back to this. Oh, let's get a quick shot of some sick judge armor. There we go. Oh, baby. It's beautiful. I love it. I love this game. Has been a delight. I look for, Sid. Oh, Sid is so good in this game. Look at him. Can we listen to him? Hold on. Let me back up. Sid, please back up. Audio. Do I have the tab muted? Yeah.
You may leave.
Look at that armor. Judge armor, dude. It's so sick.
The real thing. Nabadis taught us much. Yes, it's well hidden. They'll be off chasing after shadows, the fools. Ah, yes.
I love his actor.
Back in the hands of man. Ah, Vane. You seem to be enjoying your job as consul.
I was
supposed to be eccentric.
2 years. What news of Arcades? Our honored members.
I love the outfits. The fashion is so good, man.
Trying to find a dagger for your back.
How is the
What news of Arcades? Our honored members of the Senate.
Hard at work as always, trying to find a dagger for your back.
They are welcome.
Cool, man. Yeah, welcome to try. Let me hit play.
Try.
I can mute this. Anyway, up until Final Fantasy 15, shout out EOS, shout out my boy Nocti. Oh, Gladdy, Prompty. Love them all. That is don't forget Iggy. I can't forget Iggy. I wasn't gonna finish it, but I can't not finish it.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, we gotta talk about that game someday. We gotta have a big Final Fantasy deep dive.
Yes.
EOS is my favorite Final
let me
Fantasy.
Play 9 before we do that.
Let me play 13 too. I have yet to play. It's the only one I haven't played. And I heard it was like back in the day, it was like super linear, and I looked down upon that. But nowadays, I'm kind of like, yeah, I like it. Like, just give me a
very into linear these days.
Me too. Short and linear. I'm into it. That's why I've loved this speed up in this one. There's a whole section we did here. Can we just skip to this real quick before we finish for the evening, or before I finish talking about this? You got to see. Look at this entire. First of all, I'm silenced. My entire crew is silenced because there's traps that silence your ass. This I'm trying to find. Okay, this whole map. Look at this whole entire map you have to explore. Right? You don't have to, but you want to. And this is not the default game speed. I have it on 4 times speed times 2, so I have 8 times speed right now. And then you can kick it into high gear where you can go, I think it's 16 times speed, because it would be...
Dang.
I don't remember if it's 3 or 4 times. I don't remember exactly how fast it goes up to, but you'll see if I start just jumping around. Let me... Am I cruising at the end here? Oh, this is a shout-out moment. Did I get a raid? I don't know. Shout-out whoever raided. See me, here you go. Look at this. This is awesome. I know this seems insane, but one of the biggest things about this game is the grind, and some of it gets really gnarly, dude, and you can totally just overwrite that. And it's great. Because the story's fun. It's a very different Final Fantasy experience. I do look forward to playing 13 though, because it's back to a turn-based battle. Our buddy Bowie, shout out BowieBot. He once again he played through 13 last year. I watched him play it. He liked 13 2 and 3 as well. He liked them all. So I'm gonna give it a try sometime. Who knows?
Cool. No, maybe I won't need to play it then if I'm watching you play it.
Cool. And you're gonna play which one?
I need to play 9.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
9 is so. You gotta play 1
Still need
first,
to play
though, right?
1 through 5 as well.
No, just play 1 first.
Yeah, that's right.
Just play 1 first, and then you can play 9.
No, I forgot that you had mentioned that I need to play 1 before I play 9.
You don't need to.
I
It's not
wasn't-
even like an official thing. It's just very neat.
Right.
It's just some Easter egg. Yeah. But it's
I'm
so
all for
fun.
that.
Yeah, it's very neat Easter egg stuff. Boy, oh boy, 1's really fun too, man. 1 is super fun. If you play the Game Boy Advance,
Oh, okay.
the one that I was playing, I think I put it
I
away.
have the NES and the PlayStation versions.
What was it called? I think I must have put my Game Boy back away. There is a game. Was it called Origin? I think maybe.
Origin sounds familiar. Yes.
Maybe, yeah. That one's pretty neat, man. I was replaying it again on my. I just pulled it out of storage because I had my chest. I could find it again. Did I put it away? I did. I must. Have put
Origins was PlayStation.
Okay, which one's
Advance?
Which one's the GBA
Advance
one?
was 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls.
That's play that one.
Okay. All right.
If not, the first one's kind of neat, but the music is Dawn of Souls. Yes, this is the one.
Okay.
Let me see Origin. I do have Origin as well. I have that actually on disc. I have the original PlayStation 1 disc still.
I already have the PlayStation 1 sound downloaded, but you know.
No, you can borrow my disc and then just hold it up.
Oh, yeah.
Real talk.
Yep.
Okay.
Got the official version.
If I recall, okay, maybe not. Let me see because I played through both of these. Okay, it's just like Chrono Trigger, right? Chrono Trigger has the really cool cutscenes, but then the actual loading times and everything are booty, you know? So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of give or take. Oh, this is actually pretty cool, maybe. This one actually might be all right. Watching this, well, it's not my thing. Otherwise, I would put on screen for you. But can we admire the Final Fantasy XII beauty right here? Anyway,
It is a very nice game.
okay. So without getting too distracted, yeah, if you play Final Fantasy 1, you can. Oh, what kind of party would you do? Oh, this is fun. This is super fun talking about this
I
stuff.
have no
Holy
idea.
cow!
I don't know anything about 1 except for the fact that you just like choose your classes. You don't really have main characters. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not talk about it too much. I'll get into it.
Yeah, you're a warrior.
then we
You're
can-
warriors of light. Yes. Well, and then you also. Well, do you? Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
The knight's awesome, or the fighter, or whatever. Fighter's dope.
Fighter, I think. Yeah.
You got to do at least classic fighter, black mage, white mage.
Oh yeah. That's probably what I'm gonna
You can
end
do
up
monk.
doing. Like,
You can do the monk, or you gonna do the thief for your other one. You can also just do 2 fighters.
oh no. Nah, I would want to experiment with as much as I could. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to make some decision at some point about that. Yeah,
It's cool,
I didn't
man.
realize that you had more than 4 types, so
Yeah.
that's gonna be difficult.
There's also red mage too. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think I don't remember anymore. It's been so long. Which one? Which games
Remember,
have
I've
which? I
never
think
played
so.
it. I've only ever seen like a thing or two of it.
Boy, I'm almost
more than
positive
20
they got
years
red
ago?
mages in those games. Maybe the red mage is always like the kind of like a jack of all trades kind of caster.
Oh, okay.
I've really liked
Gotcha.
the classes in this in Final Fantasy 12. You got the time mage. You've got the foe breaker, which is kind of like the debuff. Time mage is
okay.
like haste and things like that of that nature. You can use it on your slower classes to give yourself some boosts. It's pretty cool. So check this out. So this is so we got Vaughn is the Shakiri and the Bushi. Shakiri is like daggers, and then the katanas on the Bushi. Balthier will be a time mage and a foe breaker. So he's basically like a debuff and a buff, or like a buffer, kind of thing. Actually, I think he also has the foe breaker also has like a wither, if I recall, which weakens. Fran is our red mage and an archer. She's the red mage, and they have the strongest spell in the game. It's called Arbor or Ardor. I forget one of those two. And you can make her a black mage, or you can do a red mage, black mage, and then use there's a staff that gets you increased fire damage. But I'm making Pinello my black mage. She's actually a monk right now to give her HP, and then she'll switch to she'll get the black mage for the unlock. So what we're doing is making Fran an archer, because there's a weapon called the burning bow, which also gives you increased, I think it's 30% increased fire damage. So it's pretty dope. Bosch will be our Bushi and our knight. He's a knight right now just for swords, and then we'll go Bushi later. Bushi just gives you some sick damage. Ash is our white mage machinist. This is I've seen people, it's pretty popular to do white mage plus Shakiri as well, because you get all the dodges and the sick damage ability of the Shakiri, but then also the nice healing of the white mage. Kind of a really fun. I love healer classes. Whenever I can heal or do debuffs in video games, those are always some of my favorite. But we're making her a machinist because machinists use range. They use the guns, and the weapon scaling is the only thing that affects the actual damage output, not your battle lore stat. So she only has to worry about carrying a cool gun. And then, yeah, Pinella's a monk and black mage.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, on that note, thanks for watching on Buds. Do you have any last things that you want to say, Cassette?
Do I? Yes. Our podcast is now available on Spotify.
Heck yes.
Google, what is Google's platform again?
YouTube Music now. Just YouTube.
I thought they had a podcast specific one.
Oh,
but anyway,
maybe.
we're actually
Google
on
Play Music is down.
We're on a few platforms actually via Anchor, which is a cool little service that I'm going to be doing a little bit more tooling around with. Maybe try securing some sponsor spots. So I'll have to put some empty parts in the audio to make sure that we can record some cool advertisements maybe later on.
For potential advertisers, Budsday today brought to you by Raid Shadow Legend. Shadow Legends, I forget.
Raid Shadow Legends.
We would love the Mio sponsorship. Give us the Rain sponsorship, the Bang sponsorship.
Rain,
what up?
Monster, get at us, please.
What up, Budsday?
We use your products every damn day. So we're a good venue for doing some advertising. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to make a tighter edit of this one that would be better suited for audio only after doing the video. So hopefully
Cool,
I could get them both done at the same time and both uploaded. So that'll be really cool. But it was kind of funny because I was testing it out on Spotify to listen to it, and I was just kind of like listening to Budsday today as just audio only. I was just like, I'm really liking this as just focusing on what we were saying. I was just like, yeah, this sounds great.
Cool.
It's wild a thought being like, I'm on Spotify. Okay, cool. Like if someone were to actually like search for it, just
we got to
nice.
start advertising this more. If you got,
yeah, we do.
Tell your buds we're being really bad. I'm a bad business person. I just like to make the stuff. You know, excuse me.
We need someone to do that aspect for us.
Yeah, but we're not big enough to pay them yet, so that sucks. I would love to be able to pay you a good salary. Once we got big enough, then heck yeah. And we gotta make enough so Cassette can make a living. No, we gotta make enough so Cassette can get actually paid doing the editing. That would be amazing. If we could get that popular where we could sell merch and shit to have Cassette be able to work. That'd be so sick, bro.
I would love that so much.
Sell out with me. Oh yeah, sell out with me tonight.
Sell out.
The record company's gonna give me lots of money, and everything's gonna be all right. Do.
But also, just remember, or I mean, this isn't necessarily a message to you, but like, you know, people deserve to be paid for their efforts.
Heck yeah, we put so much effort into this. This is a whole day. It's 11:30 at night. We started at what? Was it 2 today?
2-ish, yeah, something like that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So it is a labor of love, but labor is labor at the same time. But the most important part, like we've had this discussion. I love production work.
Yes.
I love making these episodes.
Yes.
I like putting together all my stuff in OBS.
Yes.
I love doing graphics. I love doing web design. I've been doing photography for a while now. Like just like making stuff, doing the thing is so satisfying, and like seeing the final result, sometimes it's a labor of stress as well, but when you see that final product and you're just like, I did this, my friends and I did this, it's just super satisfying, and it makes me really happy that people even are interested in any of the things that we do, and people watch this, listen to this, watch our streams, and we get to like see a lot of these people day in and day out. I'm glad that I live in a time that I do live in, and that I have access to this technology and these people. Thank you for being our buds. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say. Son, did you have anything to close out with?
No, I totally agree. It is a huge labor of love. We do it because it's fun. Especially for me, the actual creation aspect of it. I love making the show with you.
Same.
Have such a good time. Even though it takes a long time, we should probably plan better for our stuff during the week, quite frankly.
I do agree. Yeah.
Because we have a pool that we just kind of paste, dump links in that we're interested in talking about, and then we build the outline ahead of, or the day of. But like today, I didn't even really realize how in depth we were going to go to the PlayStation show and everything like that, and all those games. I got a little.
There was a state of play.
Yeah, so it was kind of a, oh holy cow, yeah. So we need to be better about planning our show. Once we kind of get that more in order, if we can get a shtick that works, like the Metal Gear thing works, I'm still down to do this. I'm still having a great time doing it. I'm interested in doing other characters. It's super fun. Go ahead.
And to be fair, this is our first show, and this is our 5th episode. Like, we're still,
oh yeah,
we're still like very early in this, and we're still working out all the kinks. So it's good that we're getting these opportunities to see, oh, okay, this is like something that's working for us. This is something that's not working for us. Like, this is what we should adjust, etc. So
I think we may end up breaking it down into 2 different shows. This Week in Gameplay would be a totally different show, quite frankly, and we would have a news show. Maybe even a news show a weekly news show and a bi-weekly This Week in Gaming. So we could just kind of, because the news shows kind of can get a little more frequent. And then This Week in Gaming, I sometimes get distracted, or sometimes I just do like a just chatting stream or something like that. And I only play one game, and it's just like, that sucks. Or like the first week, I was forcing myself to play those games like Cyber Shadow and Blue Fire, because I wanted more content, and it's too much. I just couldn't keep up. I still want to go back. I got to finish Cyber Shadow. I want to play that Blue Fire. It was fun as heck, man. So, yeah, maybe we do like a smaller, half-hour news show. What if we just had a half-hour news show every week that was like, these are the big headlines for this week.
We would need a rapid fire it, but we could. Yes.
Yeah, we could, and that would be fun. Or what happened in this week, and and then in our gameplay, we could do every bi-weekly or even maybe monthly. That could even be a monthly show. What are you playing this month? And we could go into like a really long,
especially since a lot of the games that we play, we end up needing about 2 weeks or so, or 3 weeks to play them, depending on the title.
The 2 games, you're going into you're not going to play. You're going to have to force yourself to play another game.
Yeah,
or either one.
Which
playing
is hard
Ghost.
to do when I'm not streaming now.
Yes, especially once COVID's over. If that happens, I'm just saying, if we ever go back to normal life, there's no way we have a lot of free time right now, so we're allowed to do this. But I don't know. Anyway,
if this were to somehow be our jobs, that'd be a whole other matter. But yes,
no, I love my job. I'm never leaving my job. This would always be a side gig.
You shouldn't. It's great.
Oh my goodness, if we could pay for your living, I could get a little bit of a kickback on like merch sales. Heck yeah. We gotta make that t-shirt. Yeah, heck yeah.
Anyway. Son here has been getting a lot of really wonderful positive affirmation in his job recently, and I think that's amazing, because this man has been deserving some affirmation with his work that I don't believe you were getting anywhere near enough of at your previous job. So I'm very happy for you, because that's pretty amazing.
Thanks, man.
And you are amazing. And now you get to know that you are doing very wonderful work, and you're doing it very well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That really means a lot.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, I grinded out for a really long time, and I got an awesome job now. I love my job. My company's awesome. Oh, yeah, it's yeah. So yes. Anyway, so if we could support, or even the same thing. If you had, you had your Cassette works frontline, retail work. It's brutal. So if we could even have this, subsidized, just some extra scratch, it'd be so cool, man. Be so cool. How cool would that be? That'd be so fun. Anyway, maybe
We'll
we
start
do
recording those advertising spots.
maybe we do like a weekly show, like a weekly news show, and then we do like a monthly gameplay show. Because there are still other projects that I would like to do as well.
Yes.
Like I want to make other videos. Like you were saying, I was going to mention. In my day-to-day, I don't get to do creative stuff.
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah.
I love making the borders. I love doing the editing. I love learning these type of things. I love making the music. Making music is so fun. I love. I get in the mood to do that more than just about anything. Like I made a little bit of beats today. I really like drums, and I really like bass. Drum and bass is my favorite thing in about almost any music and stuff. So I'll get like a something in my head, and I'll put it in Ableton or whatever, and it's just fun. That's so fun to do. So I don't get we do little jingles for the podcast. It's just fun to make these things. So having an outlet for that creativity is awesome. And quite frankly, we're building a portfolio doing this. So I know I've said that before, but it's cool. It's awesome. So expect some changes. This is still in flux while we learn things. If you want to interact at all with us, you can hit us up on the Budsday Twitter. If there's anything you want to comment, anything you want to bring up. Lucid brought up the Switch Pro stuff, so we already had it on our docket. But thank you, Lucid, for shouting that out.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Anything you want us to talk about, anything that you want us to highlight, maybe just give us the heads up, and we'll see if it works. Probably will.
Yep.
So on that note, thanks everybody for hanging. Cheers. I really appreciate you. As of now, the next one will be hitting. If we have everything planned, if it happens again, we'll see you again in 2 weeks. If not, we may have it switched up by then. When you may see a smaller news show in 2 weeks, and maybe at the end of the month you'll see a This Week in Game, or This Month in Game.
Oh yes, that sounds good.
This month's game highlights.
We'll workshop something.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, guys.
Thanks again, everyone. Thank you, son. Appreciate it, bud.
Night, bud. Cheers.
Have a good night.
Colonel. Cass.
It's just such a satisfying sound.
Bleed in to my country. Colonel. Colonel. Sorry. I'm sorry.
God damn it.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, yeah.
You know the rules,
and so do I. Yeah. I forget the rest.
A commitment's what I'm thinking of.
Nice. Oh yes, something you wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you what I'm feeling. I'll back you up.
Make you understand.
Oh, call me. You're up.